abandoned his bail. Modise spoke to the victim for an exclusive interview and filed this report.
Desmond Senong says immediately after Tebogo Mnisi stopped him and Baleseng while they were walking through the streets of Mamelodi at around 2:30 in the morning on Sunday, the gunman allegedly swore at him and shot him twice.
I
started running away and I bumped into some guys who were sitting in a polo. I told them I'd been shot and asked them for help, but they drove away. I think they were also scared because they heard the gunshots.
Senong has told the EWN that before the attack, he was dancing with both women at a shisanyama called Small Konka in Mamelodi East, but he had no intention of pursuing them romantically. He says after he managed to run, his neighbors took him to hospital.
The doctor told me I've lost one testicle, so I may not be able to have any more children, or I may struggle.
Senong, who has one daughter and plans to have more children, says he's devastated by the news. Clement Manyathela, Eyewitness News.
The Madlanga Commission of Inquiry is continuing today with a witness expected to testify partially in camera. Witness C, a member of the Gauteng Counterintelligence Operations Unit and formerly attached to the Political Killings Task Team, will return to the stand. The identity of the witness is being withheld for safety concerns. The witness began their testimony last week, providing details of the December 2024 arrest of alleged underworld figure Vusumuzi Cat Matlala. Alfara Mushwana reports.
Witness C told the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry last week that Vusumuzi Cat Matlala admitted to having links with senior police officers during a high-level operation at his home. Former Police Minister Clement told Parliament last week that Matlala, who he denied being friends with, had informed him about the events that unfolded the night of the raid.
Cat says to me, he wants to speak to me because he was raided. He says the people that raided him woke him up as he was sleeping and then I realized that was a special task force. When they come to your bathroom and they wake you up, that could be only nobody but a special task force.
Witness C told the Madlanga Commission that Matlala's home was raided as part of an investigation into the disappearance of his former business partner Jerry Boshoga, who remains missing. The witness is set to continue his testimony this morning. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
Meanwhile, in Parliament, the ad hoc committee investigating police corruption is still waiting for security arrangements for Matlala to be confirmed before his appearance, which include avoiding any possible escape from custody. Matlala is currently behind bars on attempted murder charges at the Jose Mampuru Maximum Security Prison in Pretoria, but is still a priority witness for the committee. The members want Matlala to respond to allegations of interference into police matters, the disbanding of the Political Killings Task Team, and his links to people like Minister Senzo Mchunu, as well as former Police Minister Clement. Babalundenze reports.
Vusumuzi Cat Matlala might be incarcerated on serious charges, but MPs are still expecting him to appear before the committee to answer to allegations of police corruption. Matlala has been linked to an attempt to influence the disbanding of the Political Killings Task Team through messages between him and another witness, Brown Mohotsi. But committee chairperson Servet Lechanyane says his appearance will be facilitated by correctional services and law enforcement for obvious reasons, like escaping from custody.
A security arrangement that they must make so that when a person is here must not escape in our presence and they come and say, no, you were the ones who said we must bring him here. All those things, I think they know the law and the protocol they should follow.
The committee resolved that Mohotsi must appear from the 18th of November for 3 days, with KZN Provincial Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi expected back for a second time as the last witness. Babalundenze, Eyewitness News.
And China says it is on track to land astronauts on the moon by 2030. The Manned Space Agency says its mission has seen a string of successful tests this year. China is also preparing to send up its latest group to the Tainan space station as part of its broader space exploration plans. The crew will carry 4 mice with them on the trip to study the weightlessness and confinement of animals. Gold is trading at $3,978.54 an ounce. The rand is at 17.17 to the dollar, 22.69 to the pound, 19.97 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $64.76 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the R21. This is just as you head towards the city of Tshwane. So it's R21 north, and the delays are being caused by the roadworks along this route. So please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the R24 west, we've got heavy traffic volumes coming out of Barbara Road towards the N12 merge. That's due to an accident. Please be on the lookout there.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 24 and 26 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour: a Mamelodi man who was shot in his private parts during an attack that claimed the lives of two women has told EWN that his life may never be the same.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app,
DSTV channel 856,
92.7 and 106 FM.
8 minutes after 9 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the Clement Manyathela show. It's wonderful to have you with us here on 702. I hope you're well this morning. We start the show with the 702 open line this hour on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. I was reading a story in the Soweto newspaper this morning about the Bryanston Methodist Church. It was robbed on Monday after a fundraising service over the weekend. We're told through this report that the church's safe was stolen and an undisclosed amount of money was taken. And this is not the first time that churches have actually been robbed, eh? This is not the first time, but the church is one of those settings where money is collected weekly. And I wonder how your church goes about collecting monielo. Huh? That's what we would call it. How does your church do it, especially in this time where criminals are beginning to more and more target even these religious institutions? How does your church protect itself from possible crime when it comes to the tithes? Have you introduced EFTs or speed point at the church? Even if it's not a church and maybe you run a business, I wonder how you interact with cash and whether you've introduced these cardless payments. But what you see, I mean, I've been to the church. I do sometimes go to the Bryanston Methodist Church, and I know that sometimes they'll tell you if you want to pay via, I think, speed point, you can go to the back. So during Monielo, during the time when people are paying their tithes and they are giving money, that's an option that already exists. Because I find more and more that a lot of us are not carrying cash. I mean, I don't. In fact, for me, churches having speed points is convenient for me, as controversial as that may be to other people. But that's a matter of convenience for me because I still want to give, but I just don't have cash. So, but other people do come because they still do the traditional way of giving, and they want to do church. So, what mechanisms has your church taken to be safe? Like, do you guys close doors during the time when there's money being exchanged? Has your church taken a decision that no cash is allowed? Because apparently some churches don't even allow you to bring in cash. Maybe after the offering, money gets taken immediately. But the difference now is that this happened during the weekend. So it's not like you can go bank the money. So putting it in a safe is probably the way to go. But my goodness, there is no safe place anymore. There isn't. I mean, is there a place you consider safe? I do remember the Sunday Times running a story on their front page a couple of months ago about the alarming increase in criminal attacks on Gauteng churches during services. You've got terrified congregants that are beginning to stay away from churches because of how unsafe it can be. I mean, desperate pastors are also getting additional security now. I mean, have you been to churches where you see armed guards? There are churches like that. There are even metal detectors at doors in some churches. Some churches are even cancelling evening services because it's bad. Criminals are holding communities hostage. And that's why some pastors have even proposed to their members to leave their cell phones and wallets at home and only bring your Bibles. Because many are not even taking cash anymore during offering time. It's completely online. But then sometimes that doesn't help because the criminals get agitated when they don't find enough cell phones or money. So they can actually endanger your lives. So that's the issue. Give us a call on 011-883-0702, please, to share what your experiences have been and if you've put protections in whatever institution you are part of, whether it's a religious institution, maybe you run a business. How do you interact with the issue of cash? Also on the open line this morning, I'd like to get your reflections on what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday at the Madlanga Commission? Because for the first time, we heard from the Hawks officers who were deployed to Katie Molefe's house when Katie Molefe was arrested. And there have been some contradictions. I mean, you've got Mr. Mokoena, who is the one who dispatched the team there, who gave contradictory messages yesterday, but was asked some really serious and tough questions by the commissioners. And I wonder what your reflections are of what happened yesterday. Give us a call on 011-883-0702. WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702. Between 10 and 11 o'clock, we're going to do the Hanging Out feature. And today I'm hanging out with award-winning actor Rapulana Sipemo. He has been in the industry for, over 30 years now? You probably know him from Generations, Esther Umbrale, from Isidingo, from The Queen. He's been on Muvango. He's been on, remember Chovicho, the SABC1 series. That's just a few, among many, many others. He was on Tsotsi, remember 2005, which won an Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film. And he's also been on How to Steal 2 Million, which earned him critical praise and an Africa Movie Academy Award for Best Actor. So he's really one of South Africa's most recognizable faces, a man whose talent, discipline, and depth have made him a cornerstone of local television and film. So we're going to get to know him better between 10 and 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, we do our Thursday dialogue, and today we're focusing on the tension between the Department of Justice and the inquiry into the TRC cases. So the Minister of Justice has now responded to the concerns that have been raised by the Commission. Remember, the evidence leaders from the inquiry, which is, by the way, set up to probe why TRC cases have stalled, those evidence leaders said that they have received an underwhelming response to requests for information from some government departments. They've complained about a lack of cooperation from these departments and agencies. In fact, they're accusing the police, the Justice Department, the Presidency, Parliament of failing to provide the requested information, including affidavits and reports. So the Justice Minister released a statement yesterday now saying the department fully supports the Commission. She says that she has reached out to the Commission on behalf of government to facilitate an engagement aimed at addressing any administrative or procedural challenges that may have contributed to the delays in submitting that required information. So you've got to ask yourself a question around how serious government is about getting to the bottom of the truth. Because the Commission seeks to determine if improper influence hindered the prosecution of apartheid-era crimes. What do you think this lack of cooperation signals about government's commitment to apartheid-era justice? That's a conversation we're going to have on our Thursday dialogue at 11 o'clock. That's the show coming up over the next 3 hours.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Mamorena, you're calling us from Bloemfontein. Good morning.
Morning, Clement. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. Go ahead.
It's very nice speaking to you. We want to contribute on the topic of offering at church. Yes, in my church, it's a traditional church, the Dutch Reformer, also known as Fora. But here we are more advanced. We have the scan to pay that will be displayed on the screen during offering. And then we also have an option to go to the website where you can contribute. And then we do have a split point in church. As much as older people are still contributing using cash, but we do have those options, which really works. And especially during other functions, because we'll have our muzigelo and stuff. So we are encouraged to use the bank account and the scan to pay.
And so do you find that the congregation is getting used to those systems?
Yes, we are. Yeah. We are. And another thing, I thought it was also a strategy for us to contribute more because remember, you can't swipe 10 rand or 20 rand. So it will always be 50, 100, 200, stuff like that. So like we are, and the church is really doing good financially since those measures have been introduced. We are getting used to it.
All right. Mamorena in Bloemfontein, thank you so much for your call.
Hi, Clement. This is Melusi. Clement, churches are being robbed because criminals are hiding in churches. Yeah, that's the whole reason why. How do they know that the church was fundraising on the day? How do they know? Why do they choose that specific day? Why? Period.
And how did they know where the safe is? Because when they arrived, the information from the Sowetan newspaper, they went straight. They held hostage the security guard at the church. They knew where to go. They asked him, lead us to the offices. They went to the safe. So they knew exactly what to do. And I think that's a fair point. Are you convinced that these are criminals who just randomly thought, let's go attack the Bryanston Methodist Church? They must have known something. And maybe someone from the inside may have alerted them that this is a service that's taking place and this is what normally happens in a service like this. But also, criminals are always some criminals will go to a church just to pick up what the movements are like, right? Some criminals will go attend that service. Maybe for a month they're attending and they hear a pastor announce that, we're going to have a service where we're just giving money to praising God. And then they think, okay, if that is the case, maybe that money will still be around before it gets banked, maybe on a Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever the case. So they'll come take their chance. Who knows? But I think it raises serious questions about how things are done and the systems are implemented in a church. Because these criminals are going after churches now. So you've got to be very, very, very cautious.
Hi, Clement. It's sad what happened there at Bryanston Methodist Church. Really sad. It's 2025. I think the churches also have to move with times and also with technology. In our church, for example, we are trying to be as cashless as possible. Most of the tithes, in fact, I think all the tithes, they come through the EFT. So we don't have cash in terms of tithes. And then in terms of the offering, we've got QR codes that people can scan and then they can give. And then we also have a speed point in the church. Obviously, there are still some people who prefer to give in terms of cash, but it's few people. So I think the churches just also need to move with times. It's more convenient, it's safer. People must be able to tap with their cell phones and give, like the way you do it in other places.
Good morning, Clement. I would like to comment on the topic you're having of having cash and how you protect it. So with our stock for we lend out money during the year. Then around December we close. Then we share the money. Yeah, per person can get up to like 50, 60,000 or whatever. So we make sure we have armed guards at the gate of the house where we're sharing the money, because these criminals, they don't play. They come in like heavily armed and stuff. Thank you. This is Mandla from Pretoria.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
Clemmy, Mahora man. Flores here from the beautiful Western Cape. Clemmy, as a layman in law and policing, let me tell you, the Hawks did interfere. According to the commissioners, why could they not contact the police stations at the Rosebank, at Sandton, that was closer to Sandhurst? Why call in air support and other officials that were still quite a while away from Katie Molefi's house? So there was definitely interference. And yeah, no, the rod must really come out. And you could hear this Captain Kruger, who was just promoted one day before this raid, this Brigadier Mokoena one day before, and all of a sudden they want to throw their weight around. Have a good job, bye-bye.
Yeah, listen, Flores, you're raising an important issue there. In fact, I want to bring in Karen Mon, who is a legal journalist with News 24. She's been listening yesterday to the testimonies of these Hawks officials. And Karen, thank you for making time for us. There were a number of discrepancies, contradictions in the testimony we got from Mr. Mokoena, from Mr. Kruger as well. Do we know why this team was dispatched to the Hawks offices from what they've told us so far? What's convincing about the dispatchment of that team to Katie Molefi's house as he was arrested by the SAPS?
I think, Clement, to be very honest with you, there are actually more questions than answers that came out of that evidence. We know that this issue of the bizarre circumstances of the Hawks arriving while the police were executing that J50 warrant for the arrest of Katie Molefe have actually come out in Katie Molefe's court case. It was raised by the state. The state was very concerned about it. And at that time, Hawks head Godfrey Labia, who was then the Hawks head, subsequently retired, through his spokesperson said, no, they just got a call from someone. He doesn't know who that person is, but this resulted in this full-scale level of deployment from the Hawks. And we also know that it wasn't just Captain Kruger and his colleague, Captain de Gouveia, who gets sent there. It's a number of Hawks from Johannesburg as well. And Kruger himself said, well, I don't know why that happened. And, of course, as your caller, I think, previously raised, in the course of this WhatsApp group is created. And according to Kruger, Mokoena then encourages him to get the traffic police involved to the extent that they are then swooping a helicopter over Katie Molefe's house. And I think the obvious question is, in what circumstances does an anonymous tip from someone that you don't know create such traction? The entire upper structures of the Hawks are then urging this full-scale deployment of Hawks officers to that scene. It just does not make sense.
I mean, how do you get such resources just because some anonymous person said people are claiming to be Hawks officers? The surprising thing here also, what's not helping Karen, is that even Mr. Mokoena in his testimony, he's contradicting himself. Like, was he on this WhatsApp group or not? Did he participate or not? Then what about that video call? Which phone was used to video call another cop who was there with Godfrey Labia? It seemed like there's no clear answer even on that, even from the witnesses themselves.
Well, what was excruciating, and I mean, you must understand that the DCJ, retired DCJ Madlanga, is actually a very patient person. I mean, the commissioners, we're now very familiar with them. They definitely don't take a back seat. Both Ceci Beloy and Commissioner Kumalo are extremely vocal when they don't understand, and they will push. And especially, Commissioner Kumalo was saying, why would, when you get this Kruger is reaching out to all his contacts. He's been taken away from going to another operation in Northwest on his evidence. so that he can come to this person's house and verify, inverted commas, that this is a legitimate operation. But before he even gets there, he's posting on that group, listen, I've got information that it is a legitimate operation, which of course it was found to be. There was a legitimate arrest warrant, etc., etc. And, you know, the allegation which Mokoena denied was that his attempts to distance himself from that WhatsApp group were because the question then remains, well, why did you not pull them off that scene when it became immediately apparent to you that this information about it being fake hawks is simply not true?
Yeah.
And the fact that we had to have a retired deputy chief justice explaining to a brigadier in the Hawks, this is a person in a senior position, how WhatsApp works. I don't know, you know, I personally, like, I'm horrified by that. I'm horrified.
It's horrifying.
That is actually our reality.
At some point, the commissioners were trying to explain to Kruger,
No,
like, how to even do calls. Like, they were explaining that when you like you open a call log, so to speak. So you open up an inquiry. So if there's a team being dispatched, what is the normal process that you follow as the Hawks? And he was trying to argue that, I would have to request to open that log from the brigadier, and they had to constantly ask him the same question several times until he had to concede that we were supposed to open a log call, and they didn't for this operation, which again raises and other questions.
No, absolutely. And I mean, the essential stream of allegation there was that this entire thing was off the books.
Yes.
And this is in circumstances where there are also contradictions from the evidence that we've heard from witness A, witness B, and of course, Captain Wonder, who was also from the PKTT but was named, who said these guys were demanding to see the arrest warrant. They were shown the warrant, and then they were pushing to know what the case was about, which witness A made very clear was wholly inappropriate because it was such a sensitive operation. So you really get flashbacks to the era of Jackie Celebi, where you had that standoff where police were and the Scorpions were at odds.
Yeah.
The fact that we literally had senior members of the Hawks admitting in this forum that the entire situation almost escalated to open conflict, people drawing guns and possibly a shootout, in circumstances where these guys are trying to get to the heart and arrest a person who's implicated in masterminding the murder of a wholly innocent father of two, engineer who's just doing his job and rocking up at work and then gets shot 23 times. I don't think that the importance of this evidence and the kind of need for some action of it can be understated.
Yeah, absolutely. Karen, let me let you go back to the commission because it's about to begin now at 9:30. Thank you for speaking to us. Karen Mon is a legal journalist with News 24. I thought we should bring her up to give you a sense of what transpired yesterday at the Madlanga Commission. The Hawks officials, their testimony was disappointing because of the contradictions that were pointed out by the commissioners. You can clearly tell that this operation was off the books. The head of the Hawks, the big boss, Godfrey Libya, calls a brigadier and says, please dispatch a team because there are people who are apparently impersonating Hawks officers. Who did he get information from? From Malcolm X. And maybe after the headlines, we should go back to those clips to remind you what Godfrey Libya told us on this show, what Malcolm X also told us on this show. But the fact that there is some concern that Hawks officers may be, some individuals may be impersonating Hawks officers, and then you go and amass resources like that, where you even get a helicopter to hover over KT Molefe's house because he's about to be arrested by the SAPS. You get a team of about 6 to 8 Hawks officers to arrive there with rifles. I mean, that could have been a disaster. Can you imagine if these SAPS members who were arresting KT Molefe started charging at the Hawks officers? Because they were not friendly to each other. Both of them confessed to that at the commission. Again, this must tell you how powerful KT Molefe is and how he is linked to powerful cops. I mean, one of the witnesses, detectives, did say that a relative of Katie Molefe told one of the SAPS members as they were arresting Katie Molefe that Katie Molefe is close to Senzo Mkhunu, the Minister of Police. How do you question that? I mean, there was a whole helicopter hovering over his house because he's being arrested, which has been called by the Hawks. And remember, this is the man, as we speak right now, who is out on bail. It's 9:31. Swisso, hi.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. A 27-year-old victim who was shot during an attack that claimed the lives of two women in Mamelodi has told EWN that it could have only been God who saved his life. Desmond Sinong was with Tiamo and Beleseng Moramocha moments before they were murdered in the early hours of Sunday. It's understood that Sinong and the Maramacha cousins got into an argument with the alleged gunman, Tebogo Mnisi, believed to be one of the women's boyfriends. A man accused of killing a Walter Sisulu University student and injuring another is expected to return in the Mthatha Magistrates Court for pre-trial today. Manelisi Mampane allegedly shot Sisonke Mbolekwa on campus earlier this year. While Mbolekwa died, another student, Setu Mdamase, was critically injured. And Public Works Minister Dean McPherson says he has not been deliberately snubbing Parliament's portfolio committee. Neither is he refusing to hand over a forensic report into a hospital oxygen supply tender awarded by the Independent Development Trust. Parliament's portfolio committee yesterday blocked department officials from presenting a summary of the report, saying they want the actual document. And those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 10 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Traveling towards the city of Tshwane, do expect heavy traffic volumes along the R21 North. This is between the R25 and Olifantsfontein Road. That's due to roadworks along this route. There's also roadworks taking place on the N3 North, right near the Baklu interchange. Delays from Marlborough Drive. While traveling on the N3 North, we've got heavier traffic volumes. This is in the Germiston area between the Earlands interchange and Van Buren Road. Heading towards the Wemmerpan or Selby, we've got delays along the M2 West between Heidelberg Road and Elof Street. There's also queuing traffic. This is along the M2 West between the Crown Interchange and Main Reef Road. Please be on the lookout there and drive with care. More updates coming up at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Africa Milani.
Weekday mornings,
4 to 6.
In the book, Handle Black Tax Like a Pro, you set out some practical tools and strategies. I'm going to ask you to touch on one or two of those. And this is off the back of 10 real-life stories that explore different experiences and challenges with black tax.
We need boundaries because we need to build families in the process of dealing with black tax. Another formula that I add to this, the awareness of bringing in love as the theme to the conversation.
Dumi Hadebe, self-leadership coach and author and founder of Kwande Consulting.
Africa Milani.
4 to 6 on 702.
Tap into the power of good sleep. Visit Dial-A-Bed today and save up to 30% on our best-selling brands. Our Sealy Celebration Plush Comfort Queen Set is now $9,499, and our 40 Winks Active Zone Extra Firm Queen Set is now only $11,999. Save $6,000. Plus, get next-day delivery on our bestsellers. Dial-A-Bed. Sleep for life. Visit our massive revamped store in North Rand Road, Boksburg.
Smart Steve from Momentum. Hello.
Steve, you moved to Momentum. Congrats.
Thanks.
It's Tasha. Listen, the fast-paced life in Josie just isn't working for me. I'm migrating to the Cape.
What does that have to do with life insurance?
Well, you know I love a glass or three. And I want to age as graciously as a smooth Merlot, not a box of cardboard dough.
Naturally.
And I need my critical illness cover to pair with those chilled vibes.
Of course. With Momentum, you get the most comprehensive critical illness cover in the market. You could say it's a full-bodied offering.
I'll toast to that.
Chat to your financial advisor about Momentum's critical illness cover. Momentum, protecting your journey to success. Momentum is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Welcome to the brand new days. Sail the world with Norwegian Cruise Line. With more to see, more to do, and more to enjoy. Plus, upgrade your holiday with NCL's More at Sea for premium beverages, specialty dining, and much more. Think international cruising. Think NCL. For the best deals available, visit ncl.com or contact your travel agent. Restrictions apply.
Welcome to the brand new days.
Standard Bank and 702 have joined forces to bring you China Unlocked.
So China is very dynamic and it's a massive market, as you can imagine. There's about 1.4 billion people, 23 provinces that you would be navigating as an exporter. So the Africa-China trade solutions, or what we refer to as the ACT solutions, are designed to simplify and accelerate trade between Africa and China. It's a combination of financial solutions, trade facilitation, market access support, all under one umbrella.
Don't miss China Unlocked on 702 Drive with John Perlman. Tuesdays on 702. Brought to you by Standard Bank Business and Commercial, an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
24 minutes before 10 o'clock. Let's go to your calls and your WhatsApps. I've been asking you about how you do things at your church, given what happened at the Bryanston Methodist Church. They were robbed on Monday after a fundraising service over the weekend. And I've been asking you about how your church does things. Like, what mechanisms has your church taken to be safe? Do you close doors when you give? Maybe you don't allow cash anymore. After offering, do you take the money to the bank immediately? How does it work? Because criminals are coming after churches now. But also, we're reflecting on what happened yesterday. It's so disappointing, hearing that kind of testimony from Hawks. Like, which law enforcement agency are we going to be so confident in it that we know that all they are concerned about is just getting to the truth and ensuring that there's justice and investigating matters to ensure there's proper, effective prosecution? I mean, now I'm scared. Are we going to hear something else about the SIU? About inefficiencies and officials that are possibly corrupted too? I'm just worried about that. I mean, already we're dealing with the SAPS. Now you're hearing that the Hawks officers who were testifying didn't really give us much confidence. Like, who's out there as a law enforcement agency that is completely just interested in doing the job? It's quite scary. Here's some WhatsApp voice notes that have come on that on 072 702 and 702.
Good morning, Clement. Gordon in Boxburg here. Clement, the blatant lies that came from that Captain Brigadier Mokoena are appalling. I have never seen an official that lie. I've heard politicians and all those people. I've never seen someone that lies so blatantly like that guy. And Clement, who made that call? Did the person that made that call to that guy say, I am in the house and there are people who are pretending to be police? Or did that person say, I'm a neighbor or was just passing by and I saw people? What did that person say so that we can verify? Because that would be able to tell us where this person was when the call was made. And Clement, it's so sad that there's so many active crimes that are taking place in this country. There's cash in transit heists, there's robberies, there's house breakings, there's hijackings that you'd call the police and say, I'm looking at this thing now, it's taking place, but they'd never make it. But for this guy, they were able to do such. Totally disgusting, Clement.
Hello. Good morning, Clement. Hi, Clement. Yesterday, Ntate Mokoena, Yo, I was so disappointed. Ntate Mokoena was looking for a corner inside the circle. He didn't know what to say. Like, he tried to think of all the lies he could come up with, but Clement, our system is so rotten. So I'm just so happy that everything is out in the open. Clearly something has to be done here. Is the floor no here? On 5 year Clement. Thank you.
Morning, Marimecha. Marimecha, I think it's high time now heads must roll. the heads must roll. I think the heads must roll. Those Hawks officials, I think they must just be fired immediately. There mustn't be a disciplinary action or whatsoever. They must just be dismissed. They must just dismissed. You can hear from this Kruger guy, I blame myself. They ask him question, I blame myself, as if he's covering someone, fearing of being victimized. No. As for Mokoena, no, Clement, those people were sent there just to disrupt that operation so that Katie Molefe can't be arrested. No, I think heads must roll. Heads must roll. Officials, high officials must do something about these guys because we can't be run by cartels. It shows how powerful Katie Molefe is. Makuya and Jobek, have a great one.
Morning, Clement. The behavior of the Hawks at the Katie Molefe takedown reminds me of what happened on the day that the tiger disappeared. It's off the books. Nobody knows what happens or who gave the instructions to, I would imagine, lower level policemen were arrested. And where is the tiger? All gone.
Gone.
Noni.
Yeah, Noni. Tiger is probably enjoying himself somewhere on a beach. He's probably been assisted to escape the country as well. And I bet you, and I even said this at the beginning when this was revealed, I was like, this is probably connected to someone higher up. I don't think this is just something normal officers can pull off. So, it's so concerning. To the fact that the SAPS were going to legitimately effect an arrest, and some group of Hawks officers arrived, even when they knew, because on the WhatsApp group, it was already indicated that, guys, don't worry, this is a legitimate operation. And yet, Kruger and them still continued to go to the house. And when they were told this is a legitimate operation, they still wanted to know more information about the docket. Why are you arresting this man? Where's the docket? That time, there's a helicopter hovering above. That's why the SAPS even said at the Madlaga Commission that we had to call for reinforcement. Are you kidding me? The Hawks and the SAPS nearly exchanged gunfire. Why? Because the Hawks seemingly wanted to protect Katie Molefe from being arrested? Because how then do you expect how they have behaved? Listen to what Godfrey Lebeya said. Because to understand why we're here, we've got to take it back to the beginning. Why did the Hawks go there in the first place? The instruction came from the very top, the head of the Hawks at the time, Godfrey Lebeya. And we had him on this show to explain why he issued that instruction for people to go to Katie Molefe's house as the SAPS were arresting him.
So the source who called you, what interest does that person have in this matter? Is it only because they're friends of Molefe, or do they have any other interest in this matter?
I do not know their relationship. Firstly, I don't even know this Molefe. I never heard about him before. So it's not one of the famous names that when a person mentioned it, one would have picked it up. So I don't know what is his relationship with this individual. It is something that this person himself can indicate. I just took it that they are general friends. But to us, we just took this is an information from somebody who has been providing information in the past. It's not the first time that he's providing the information.
But then he's also friends with this man who was about to be arrested, and he has a relationship with the police because he's given them information before.
The informant, all the people in South Africa, those who want to fight crime from time to time, provide information. The fact that they might be closely related to criminals is something that we will not be knowing from the word go. So, yes, he provided the information to us, which in the past we had to work on it. And obviously, I can't be revealing the nature of the information that he provided.
But this man has provided information before that was credible to the police.
Yes.
And this time around, his friend was about to be arrested, and he provided false information to the police because he claims that the people who are here are claiming to be from the Hawks. And when you sent people there, they went there and they said, no, that is not really the case.
Yeah, what I can't say who is not telling the I can't judge who is not telling the truth here. What we got was that this person, the officer in charge of the corporation, the captain, indicated that he never mentioned that I have sent him. So it means that he denies that he has mentioned that he comes from the Hawks. He denies that he has been sent by me. Remember that in the DPCI, we have been handling 32 cases of people who have been pretending to be from the Hawks when they are not from the Hawks. So whenever somebody is saying that he is from the Hawks, we quickly dispatch a team to go and check, verify as to whether who is that person. You will recall that we have effected arrest on some of the people, including a police officer from crime intelligence who was pretending to be a lieutenant colonel from the Hawks when he is not a lieutenant colonel, when he was a warrant officer from crime intelligence. His co-perpetrator was convicted and sentenced. By the time I left the office, I think he was still appearing in court.
The difference now is that when the team, before even the team arrived there, they were alerted on the group that don't worry, the matter is settled now. The people who are at Katie Molefe's house are legitimate SAPS officers and they didn't claim to be from the Hawks. And there are two things you must note from that interview we did with Godfrey Libiat. Godfrey says the person who called him is an informant who has given them information before. Malcolm X was on this show. He denied that he's an informant. Godfrey Libiat claims the information he got from Malcolm X was that Malcolm X is friends with the guy who was being arrested. Malcolm X came on this show and denied that he's friends with Katie Molefe. Remember that?
On the day in question, that was 6 December 2024, I received a call from someone who said someone that I know very well, who is one of my clients in my consulting business, who said he's the brother to Molefe, Katie Molefe. Then he said, look, Malcolm, I'm not around, but please do me a big favor. My brother just called me and said he's either about to be arrested or kidnapped and possibly killed by people who are masquerading as police officers at his house. Then he sent me the address. He directed me to the house. I drove there quickly. It was during the day. I didn't even have time to call for backup or tell the police about it. So I went there alone. As I was about to park, then I saw there were about 35 to 40 people in the yard, and there were many vehicles outside the yard. Then at the entrance, and they wouldn't allow me to enter the yard. They said they are police officers. Then I said, okay, from which division? They said, why is it my business? Then I explained them that their brother to the owner of the house asked me to come through. On arrival, several of them were talking to me. Well, they were very rude, even refusing to show me their identification cards to prove they were policemen. Then I said, guys, this is very suspicious because there are people here wearing ballot levels, refusing to show me their identity cards. Some cars had no registration numbers. Then I said, if you are policemen, my name is Malcolm X. If you are policemen, please show me who I'm. Proof of that. So some said, hey, you can't be Malcolm. So I took out my ID and showed them that it's my real name. as in the name is Malcolm, surname is X. So I requested them to do the same. They wouldn't. Then eventually I said, can I speak to your commander? They said he's not available. At some stage, the commander came and said, yes, we are policemen. But some of them had already said, because I asked them from which division. Then I said, are you Hawks, Crime Intelligence, or SAPS? They said all that. And when they said all that, that's when I decided to call General Goflibia from my cell phone. I called him, he picked up. Then I said, General, there are people here who say they are Hawks.
Yeah.
Some of them say they are Hawks, and they were sent by you to this operation.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him how I got to be there. Then he said, look, I have no knowledge of any Hawks members doing an operation in Sentin. Can I verify? He verified and called back and said, no. They are not Hawks, because I just spoken to my people. Hawks members are not supposed to be there, but I will send teams to come verify them.
Mm-hmm.
Then at some stage, it didn't take long. So they arrived. Some apparently came from Pretoria or Kempton Park, Sun Hill. But then I then met Hawks members that I know personally from Joburg CBD. They arrived. Hi, Malcolm, how are you? We've been told to come here. We've been told that we are here as well. Then I said, I'm here. I'm the one that called General. Then they verified those people that they are. Then they came out and said, okay, it's confirmed. They are policemen.
Okay. So that's Malcolm X. That's a guy that I interviewed who calls himself a super consultant, and he had a direct line to the head of the Hawks, and the head of the Hawks instructed a Brigadier Mokoena or someone else who then instructed Brigadier Mokoena to dispatch a team to go to Katie Molefe's house. That's how powerful this man is. Our own law enforcement agencies nearly exchange gunfire with each other because one powerful man was about to be arrested by the SAPS. And that man is out on bail right now as we hear more evidence at the Madlanga Commission from the detectives who've been investigating the murder of that engineer, and how this man who's out on bail, how the police believe he played a role in the assassination of that engineer. 7 minutes before 10.
The G20 Summit coming to Johannesburg is a stepping stone towards a brighter future for the city. Josie My Josie has launched the Babize Bonke campaign to shine a spotlight on some of the extraordinary champions who are reshaping Johannesburg from the ground up.
My name is Yumna Bukers, community activist based in Bertrams. I transform bad spaces in the community into productive vegetable gardens and provide for local soup kitchens, schools, and the needy.
Josie My Josie is making the invisible visible, giving the voiceless a voice. It's a movement for the people, by the people, creating a city that we can proudly call Josie My Josie. Come see how Josie does it. A city that's alive, ready, and rising. Prime Media and 702 are proud sponsors of Josie My Josie.
Josie My Josie, Babize Bonke champion Mama Yumna will be interviewed on Weekend Breakfast by Gugs Mhlungu just after 9 a.m. on Saturday morning.
After a short migration, the family arrives at the Premier Resort, rich in food, drink, and entertainment. The young, freed from classroom captivity, head straight for Kids Club and the safety of the herd. The adult male meanders to the scuba center, while the matriarch basks by the pool.
Book your resort escape to Knysna, East London, Scottborough, or Sunny Pass at premierhotels.co.za.
Hey Queens, listen up. It's time for the 5th annual Nomzamo Lighthouse Foundation Empowering Her Seminar and Business Awards. Proudly powered by the Hollywood Foundation, and we're calling on your entries. From township startups to industry-defining pioneers, the Empowering Her Awards celebrate the very best of SA's business minds, and now it's your turn to shine. Are you a woman who's passionate and committed to building a business that's changing your community? Are you looking to inspire other women just like you to dream beyond their limits? Well, this is just the right avenue for you. Visit www.hollywoodfoundation.co.za to submit your entry before 31 October 2025 and make the world your stage. T's and C's apply.
You can become a victim of a legal problem. Wrongful arrest, assault, uncontested divorce, rental disputes, maintenance matters, or labor problems. It can happen to you. Clientele Legal provides tough professional lawyers for an affordable monthly premium. Our legal team is standing by to assist you 24 hours a day. Join today. SMS Legal to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Your voice. Your station. Your open line. Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela on 702.
4 minutes before 10.
Good morning. Hey, you see, the first time when I heard what the Scorpions 2009 was stopped from operating. That moment, that's where I started to believe that corruption is existing, is living, is breathing. So now the Hawks is here to do the duties that we should highly recommend them with, the high profile duties, but they are not doing that. They are not. I fell in love with the Scorpions. I don't know if you still remember the Scorpions. I fell in love with those guys. They will do what is this lifestyle audit. I know there's some issues that were raised about them, etc. But we need an independent investigative team or operation that can deal with, especially these crooks, the politicians, and these senior officers. Because if there's crime in SAPS, if there's crime in people that should stop crime, then we will never win. We will never win. Sabo from Lombardi.
Hi, Clement. There's something that just crossed my mind. If someone calls you and says someone close to you is in trouble, there are a group of individuals masquerading as the police are trying to arrest your friend, would you drive there knowing that these individuals could possibly be criminals? Does that even make sense? This Malcolm X guy says he drove there alone. If he believed that these people could be masquerading, would it not be poor judgment to place yourself in a situation where criminals could be trying to do something unlawful? Would that not endanger you? Something doesn't make sense here.
Part of the 702 family.
My name is Franz Gate. I've been in Johannesburg since 2004, and I accidentally got onto 702 listening to John Robbie because I'm a mad sports fan, but I cannot believe the quality of broadcasting that 702 has played in my life. It's added so much value to my curious nature, and 702 ticks all my boxes.
Welcome to our 702 family. Let's walk the talk.
The Discovery Vitality Chicken Run, flavored by Nando's, is coming on Saturday, the 8th of November, with a 5-kilometer or 10-kilometer through the streets reimagined by Josie My Josie. Find the Discovery Vitality Chicken Run on racepass.com to enter. The Discovery Vitality Chicken Run, flavored by Nando's. It's a run for everyone.
Stamina Grow is a 5-in-1 supplement with amino acids, antioxidants, B vitamins, and other essential vitamins and minerals. Stamina Grow helps promote energy, well-being, immune defense, and mental vitality. Stamina Grow, 22 years of supporting Mzansi. Ranked amongst the top 5 best-performing multivitamin brands in SA. Stamina Grow. Grow for it.
What you're hearing isn't a traffic accident. It's not panic braking. It's our amazing car-stopping 40th birthday deals. For a limited time only, Auto & General is offering great savings with our 40th birthday Ruby deals. Celebrate with us by visiting autogen.co.za for great personal and business car insurance savings. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online. Offer available for a limited time only.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. A 27-year-old victim who was shot during an attack that claimed the lives of two women in Mamelodi has told EWN that it could have only been God who saved his life. Desmond Sinong was with Siamo and Baleseng Moramaga moments before they were murdered in the early hours of Sunday. It's understood that Sinong and Moramaga cousins got into an argument with the alleged gunman Tebogo Mnisi, believed to be one of the women's boyfriend. Mnisi appeared in the Mamelodi Magistrates Court yesterday on 5 charges, including murder and attempted murder and firearm-related offences. Khomotso Modise spoke to Sinong in an exclusive interview and filed this report.
27-year-old Desmond Sinong says he was at the local establishment Small Konka Shisanyama in Mamelodi East on Saturday night when he bumped into cousins Tiamo and Baleseng Moramaga, whom he says he'd met before through a friend. Sinong says he was not aware that Tiamo's boyfriend Tebogo Mnisi was watching them.
I went back to the Shisanyama to look for my friend, and that's when I saw Tiamo standing at the entrance with someone. I later learned that's Tebogo. I started calling for my friend, and Tebogo told me I'm being noisy, but I was drunk, so I did not pay any attention to him. I just laughed.
He says after he left the Shisanyama with Baleseng at 2:30 in the morning, they walked through the streets of Mamelodi with the intention of going to continue partying at another establishment, but they were stopped by Mnisi, who was driving with Tiamo.
I just saw him park in front of me, open the door and cock the gun. And then he just started shooting at me.
Sinong says after he was shot in his private parts, he felt pain almost immediately, but he still managed to run, jumping into different yards on his way home out of fear that Mnisi may catch up with him and kill him. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News.
The KwaZulu-Natal High Court in Pietermaritzburg is today set to deliver its judgments on the reopened inquest into the death of former ANC President General Chief Albert Luthuli. Luthuli died in 1967, with the apartheid government initially ruling his death as an accident, saying he was hit by a train while crossing the railway line in KwaDukuza, east of KZN. But in April this year, the NPA successfully got the inquest into his death reopened, saying new evidence has emerged showing he may have been murdered. Tabiso Goba reports.
A number of people who knew Albert Luthuli while he was alive have testified during the reopened inquest into his death. They say while Luthuli was of advanced age at 69, it's unlikely he would not have heard a loud steam train hurtling towards him. A forensic pathologist who re-examined Luthuli's post-mortem results testified his injuries were not consistent with that of someone who's been hit by a train. Luthuli's grandson Sandile has previously told EWN this matter has weighed heavily on the family for over 50 years.
We hope that this process will actually unravel exactly what happened and set the historical record straight. And secondly, to the extent that anyone can be found culpable for this, that really would bring closure.
A Hawks detective tasked with re-investigating Luthuli's death has testified he could not track down some key witnesses who were present on the day of Luthuli's death. This includes the train driver, conductor and the firefighter who first responded to the scene. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
A man accused of killing a Walter Sisulu University student and injuring another is expected to return to the Mthatha Magistrates Court for pre-trial today. Manelisi Mampane allegedly shot Sisonke Mbolekwa on campus earlier this year. While Mbolekwa died, another student, Setum Damase, was critically injured. Mampane allegedly opened fire during a student protest over poor living conditions at the Eastern Cape institution. Nhlanhla Mabaso reports.
Manelisi Mampane, a former residence manager at the Walter Sisulu University, pleaded not guilty during his previous court appearance, but he did not dispute opening fire using a gun that did not belong to him when the students were protesting on campus. Mampane accused the students of setting a car on fire near a residence where he lived. EWN understands that his appearance also comes after he withdrew his testimony at the Jafta Commission probing the violence at the institution and circumstances that led to the unrest. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News.
Public Works Minister Dean McPherson says he has not been deliberately snubbing Parliament's Portfolio Committee, neither is he refusing to hand over a forensic report into a hospital oxygen supply tender awarded by the Independent Development Trust. Parliament's Portfolio Committee yesterday blocked department officials from presenting a summary of the report, saying they want the actual document. But McPherson says he can't do that while the scope of the investigation has been expanded to include the Health Department officials and while criminal and disciplinary proceedings are underway. Lindsay Dentlinker reports.
The Portfolio Committee's relationship with Minister Dean McPherson has since his appointment become increasingly acrimonious, as meetings of the committee often clash with those of Cabinet. But McPherson says he's explained in letters to the committee chairperson why he can't release the findings of the PricewaterhouseCoopers report into the Independent Development Trust, all of which have gone unanswered.
There is an ongoing disciplinary hearing, and that the Hawks are investigating the matter criminally. And so you cannot just put big pieces of evidence like that into the public until those matters have concluded.
He's defended a decision to release a summary of findings to the public through the media, saying he owed the public an explanation for the alleged corruption.
If we had waited any longer, because Parliament was in recess then, some of the problems that we had seen in the IDT would have persisted.
Committee Chairperson Carol Perry has demanded the committee be presented with the forensic report by Friday. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Gold is trading at $3,959.04 an ounce. The rand is at 17.20 to the dollar, 22.69 to the pound, 19.97 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $64.55 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 North. This is between the Marlborough Drive exit and the Baklu interchange. Roadworks are taking place there. There's also queuing traffic along the N3 North approaching Van Buren Road, just as you come out of the Elands interchange.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 24 and 26 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, a 27-year-old victim who was shot during an attack that claimed the lives of two women in Mamelodi says that it could only have been God who saved his life.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Let's Walk the Talk, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7 and 106 FM.
8 minutes after 10 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the second hour of the Clement Manyathela Show. Thank you for staying with us here on 702. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday morning. Remember, at 11 o'clock on our Thursday dialogue, we're going to have a conversation about this tension that's existing between the Department of Justice and the inquiry into the TRC cases. The president said there must be a commission of inquiry because can you believe that over 30 years into this democracy, we still don't have successful prosecution on TRC cases? It's unbelievable. So the president says there must be an inquiry to check whether there's been political interference. So the evidence leaders at this commission have requested certain documents and affidavits from the Department of Police, Justice, from Parliament as well, and other departments, and there hasn't been cooperation at all. They've been complaining about that. And I'm worried that if this is how already they are acting, this lack of cooperation could signal something else about government's commitment to apartheid-era justice. And I wonder what your thoughts are. So we'll have that conversation at 11 o'clock. But right now, we start with our Hanging Out feature.
Hanging Out with Clement
on 702.
Let's Walk the Talk.
And today on our Hanging Out feature, we've got award-winning actor Rapulana Seipemo, who is in studio with us. We're going to get to know him better this hour and play some of his music. But I want to encourage you to also give us a call or send a WhatsApp voice note. If you want to talk to him, if you've got a question for him, you can do that by calling on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. You can watch this conversation on YouTube as well because we're live on YouTube. Very easy. You just go to the 702 YouTube page if you want to watch and listen to the show at the same time. Thank you so much for making time for us. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
What do you prefer, Rapulana or Mr. Sipemo or Tau? Or
No, actually, I prefer Rapulana. Yeah,
Rapulana.
That's a beautiful name.
Do you still have people who call you Tau when you are
of course
out at the mall? Yeah,
of course. I mean, I've accepted the fact that wherever I go, there is this guy who follows me everywhere. In actual fact, I'm telling you, I have to respond to that because I look around and I realize, oh, by the way, I'm just the only person here.
Yeah.
So let me respond to these wonderful people who, in actual fact, take their time to watch me and,
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think that's the most famous character you've ever portrayed in your entire acting career?
Yeah, that's Tau. I mean, I remember there was a time I was on the Mobango and, some woman said, "Hey, there's Tau from Mobango," and that was the funniest thing ever.
That tells you a lot.
It does tell you a lot.
So I've interviewed artists on the show who sometimes take offense when their oldest songs are the ones that their fans remember the most. So when they go perform and the crowd still wants you to sing that one song that was popular in 1996.
Yes.
Or that was popular in 2000. And sometimes they feel like us as fans, we don't give them space to produce, we don't enjoy their new music more than we should. Because we are so obsessed with the past.
Yeah.
Is that how you feel about the character? Or are you at a place where you're comfortable in that people just fell in love with the character and it is what it is?
I have to be honest, I really do not mind.
Yeah.
I remember there was a time I went to the Joy of Jazz and Dave Cos was here. And, he had obviously a complement of songs that he was going to perform. And he was reminded, remember that song that you sing with Baby Winans? The dance, You have to add it.
Yo.
Because, people are going to expect it. And we were definitely expecting that song. And he went into it. I'm telling you, the tent erupted.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Have you always wanted to get into acting? Growing up?
I will tell you something. When I was in matric, I had a friend of mine and my English teacher, Mrs. Van Vuren, kind of like gave us homework, a dialogue between two individuals, to in actual fact to be comfortable speaking English. So I had a friend of mine that we loved performing in front of in front of the class, and we would perform all this dialogue that we had written ourselves and and entertain people and everything. And one day she came up to me and she said, "Rapulana, have you ever considered performing arts as a career?" And I was like, "What is that?" And she explained to me. That's when I said, "Okay, that's exactly what I want to do," and that's exactly what I did after matric.
And did you go straight to the US?
Nope.
Immediately after matric? What happened after matric?
I went to Wits.
Wits first.
No, but at Wits I had applied for BA in dramatic arts, and at that time it was called, it was BA in dramatic art, but you had to go through an interview process because it was regarded as a professional degree.
Yeah.
So you would walk the Green Mile obviously in this hall, and there was a panel of all these lecturers, professors, and head of departments who would interview you. And I went in and I was interviewed for this degree. And they asked me, "Do you know who John Kani is?" And I said, "No." And I didn't. I was from Soweto, from Middlelands. I wasn't exposed to the world of arts in
theater,
in Joburg, the theaters in Joburg, and I didn't know who he was. And I'm telling you, they rejected me. I studied BA in education. I got bored. The first year I failed like about 2 courses. I was, no, let me take a different route. Then I went to, to do a diploma in performing arts with Federated Union of Black Artists.
Wow.
And from then on, I think 2 years later, I was working with John Kani.
Yeah. Did you tell him that I didn't know who you were 3 years ago?
I did tell him.
Fascinating.
Yes.
All right. So as we continue our conversation, we'll be playing some of your favorite music as well.
Yeah.
And I've got some WhatsApps already coming through from our listeners, so we'll get to them a little later on. Shall we start with Dance With My Father?
Yes.
Why is this song special to you?
You know, I lost my father a couple of years ago. And, I used to spend a lot of time with him and in silence.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I appreciate about him is I think he is the person that, in actual fact, mostly inspired me to do what I do.
Mm.
Because I remember, he had complete works of Shakespeare, and I would go through all these works of Shakespeare, and, let me know to the marriage of true minds, admit impediments. For love is not love which alters when it alteration finds or blends with a remover to remove. Oh no, it's an ever fixed mark that looks on tempest and it's never shaken. That's just a sample. I mean, yeah, and I read a lot because of his books, I remember there was a book on democracy and I found this quote and it's still with me. It's like, once every 2 seconds, a new life is given to the world and is cast into the moving stream, which is the force of history. Sooner or later, as all human beings have done since the beginning of time, each individual begins his search for a faith by which to live. Anonymous. Yeah, so,
you remember, when did you read that book? This is when you were
I was
how old?
Like 14.
And you still remember that to this day?
Sure. And those are the things that I remember about him, and the hours that I spent sitting with him, and he would be reading his paper, I would be watching TV, and he would say one word to me, and I would answer and say 2 words, and and all those things. I mean, that's what I remember. So if I could, I would.
That's really special.
Again.
Back when I was a child, before life removed all the innocence, my father would lift me high and dance with my mother and me, and then spin me around till I fell asleep. Then up the stairs he would carry me, and I knew for sure I was loved. If I could get another chance, another walk, another dance with him, I'd play a song that would never, ever end. How I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. Ooh. When I and my mother would disagree, to get my way I would run from her to him. He'd make me laugh just to comfort me, yeah, yeah. Then finally make me do just what my mama said. Later that night when I was asleep, he left $1 under my sheet. Never dreamed that he would be gone from me. If I could steal one final glance, one final step, one final dance with him, I'd play a song that would never, ever end. 'Cause I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. Sometimes racing outside her door, and I'd hear how my mother cried for him. I pray for her even more than me. I pray for her even more than me.
Wow, Clement, you've really done it this time. Hey, man. You've got one of my most favorite South African artists, and you know he's amazing on the screen. Mr. Spemo, you basically told us what was happening, what is happening now when the buildings are being hijacked. In that movie, Hijack Stories, your character was amazing. You nailed that part flawlessly. And I can tell you this, you are one of the best actors from South Africa. And any movie, any show that you are on, I am interested. Shivers in Boxburg.
It works of Shakespeare.
Hey, Clemza. No, you're with the legend there. You are with a living legend. Mr. Rapulane, I just want to thank you, man. There is a character you portray in that movie called Jerusalem. You played that role. You played that role to a T. I believed every second of it. Your monologue, your narrating as the movie continued. Wow, I believed you. I don't want to lie. I believe that this is really this person that's living this life. You embodied that character, and I feel like you do that with most of the characters that you portray. You know, or as far as I know, with all the characters that we portray. I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for taking us on that journey of storytelling and actually seeing somebody's life through the lens. Thank you, Mr. Rapulanes.
Oh, thank you so much for your WhatsApp voice notes. Isn't that acting is about that? We mustn't think you're acting when you're acting. We must believe you.
No, of course. I mean, there was a time, the late Mandoza, I met him and we were having a chat. And he went, no, that is my character, man. I could kill that character. I could play it. And I understood what he was trying to say because, we make it look easy. Yeah, we make it look easy. But what goes into building that character, becoming and embodying that particular character and bringing it to life, it takes a lot. And
what does it take for you for character development?
Obviously, I mean, you have to know their backstory.
Yeah,
you have to know their backstory. You have to sit down with, the creators of that particular character and go through what it means, what it is, and what their expectations are. And I mean, I went into Jerusalem. This guy plays a thug, but he's not an ordinary thug. He's like that one that you do know, and every one of us knows that particular character that has got a quiet demeanor, and they are not, but you do know underneath that layer of being quiet,
calm and collected,
there is a dangerous thing.
Ruthlessness.
Ruthlessness that is boiling under there.
How do you make sure you don't take the character home? Like, because when you've played a character for too long, at some point, there are certain behaviors that stick to Rapulana and the Rapulanas that stick to the character. Have you ever had that intersection?
You know what? I've never taken a character home. But you can ask all my colleagues. One is here because when I'm on set, I make it a point that when they say, okay, fine, we are just about to go for a take, I get into it.
Okay.
And when they say cut, I get out of it.
Immediately after.
Immediately. I have learned to do that. And I mean, my tricks are, if it's only a light, a scene, I'm able to kind of, when they say cut, and then make a joke about something else and talk about something else and have a laugh with everybody else. Because as you are acting, there are like about at least, 10, 15 people watching you or looking at you. Because the sound people, camera people, art department, wardrobe, that's, to see to it that everything is on point. And people don't know what goes into just, producing that one soap. That one episode.
I got a shock
takes
of
a
my,
lot.
It takes a lot. I got a shock of my life because I once had a privilege to be on a scene.
Yeah.
On the river that I was part of, and
yeah,
it took us like so long to just capture one scene.
Yeah.
And I used to think that at least low recorder 6 minutes straight in a row.
Yeah.
And then you could save it somewhere, go record another 5 minutes in a row. But it's actually like very small pieces, and sometimes you have to start because the sound was not so clear.
Yeah.
Or someone dropped a pen.
Yes.
200 meters away.
That's the thing, people come on and they're like, geez, come on, guys. Why does it take so long? This is exactly what we go through.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a phrase that people like using, like hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And when it comes to feature films, it's even worse. I mean, like the first 2 minutes of, I don't know, let's just say a feature film. I mean, you might find out they took like about 3 days to shoot.
Sure.
Yeah, 3 days to shoot. There was there's a movie that I know, and the first take it's like 10 minutes long, and it's one shot. They took 20 days to rehearse that shot, that one shot, 20 days, and to shoot it.
Yeah. That's fascinating.
It is.
Are you like a passionate teacher?
Yes.
Because it's almost like at the very heart of you is really a teacher.
Yes. I will tell you right now, I'm involved with the Department of Arts and Culture, national. They are actually sponsoring me to bring to life, actors in Mafeking and the Northwest. So we are in Mafeking and the surrounding areas, and the Department of Arts and Culture is actually sponsoring a pilot, acting initiative that I'm doing with young people there, and I have like 25, candidates, but that are in actual fact. I got them; they were raw. And if you can see them right now, I mean, they've blossomed into something else. And I keep telling people, acting is not just only about being in front of the camera or being, famous and having a great fortune. It's also about your everyday life. Sometimes you might go in and, somebody's asking to come in to be interviewed, or you have to present something in front of a group of people. Acting gives you the tools to actually be able to do that. And I love, going in and doing that. And I'm also just about to start another project with Rustenburg Chrome Mine, Community Trust Development. And these guys are supporting me to, in actual fact, create a short film for them. And so I'll be, starting from scratch, making sure that I create a hub of sorts and incubate young people that will learn all these skills, and I will bring in expertise from all over so that they can, in actual fact, learn something, be trained in something, be developed into a meaningful people, that they have careers that they can take wherever they want in the world.
What do you enjoy the most between like conceptualizing and writing and then directing? Do you produce as well?
Yes.
And then producing and then acting?
Producing is one. Yeah, I know it's a challenge on its own.
Yeah.
But I will tell you something that I enjoy most. It's starting with an idea for a story.
Yeah.
And then end up watching on the big screen what you started with just one word on paper.
And look at what it's blossomed into.
I mean, we wrote White Wedding, and it became, number one box office in South Africa. And we wrote, Paradise Stop, and we watch it. Sometimes I visit these movies, and after a long while, I visit them and I see them, and they're so fresh, and I'm like, this is exciting. This is what we should be doing. This is what we should be writing, and it's something that we lack actually here in South Africa. We don't invest a lot in writing, and that's where it should start. When you get an idea, you develop it and you write. People kind of like, they want you to come in with a finished product already. And it takes a lot, because with White Wedding, it took us 7 years to write White Wedding. Yes, it took us 7 years. And with Paradise Stop, it took us 3 years. So it's not an easy task. It's something that you have to invest in, and you have to get it right.
Before we go to the headlines quickly, I was watching a podcast, I think about a day or two ago, and this woman who is, I think, also a writer, film producer, was saying they have had to start dumbing down when they write, because we live in a society now where people are no longer focusing when they're watching content, film, or whatever on television. We are always on our phones. So I'm busy on my phone. I'm scrolling Instagram, Twitter, while I'm watching Paradise. I'm watching White Wedding. And she was saying that they find themselves as writers having to dumb things down because you want the audience to get it. Back in the day, the audience were focused on the screen. So whatever you've written, they will get it because they are so engaged. And right now we are so removed. And you can't be, your script can't have depth anymore. Do you relate to that?
No.
Is that a thing?
No, not for me. Yeah, partly maybe, because I think they are forced to dumb down. It's not that they have to. They are forced to dumb down. I mean, if you look at, let me give you an example of Generations. I mean, Generations has been there forever. But if you look at Generations and you look at it and you're thinking it was ahead of its own time, because when COVID hit, Generations had already had a story about an epidemic like that, where everybody was wearing these suits and covered, and because this virus, this is just killing people, and then about 2 years later, COVID hit.
Here we are.
I mean, we were discussing polyandry. People were watching. I'm telling you, if you write riveting stuff, people are going to put their phones down.
They'll relate.
I mean,
you're right.
I mean, here we are. Tyler Perry writes a story. Writes a story, and it's about obviously blackness. Black people go and watch. They go to a theater, a cinema, and watch. And all those who have to wait, they watch on their their monitors, their laptops, or at home.
So
if you write riveting stuff,
they'll pay attention.
People will pay attention.
Love that.
But if you dumb down, people will be encouraged to do what,
and be distracted.
And be allowed to be distracted. And something happens, and they laugh, and it trends. And you're like, what were they talking about? They're like, I know that guy is funny. And you're like, okay, fine. What was the story about?
I don't know.
They don't care.
They don't know.
Because you've dumbed down when already.
All right, 10:30. Let's get the latest in our Witness News headlines. 10:34, in fact. Apologies, Swiss Zulu. Good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. The DA has again accused Higher Education Minister Buti Manyathela of choosing ANC-aligned people to fill the vacant boards of sector education and training authorities. The latest accusation follows Manyathela's recent decision to appoint ANC-linked people and former leaders to be administrators of some of the country's struggling seaters. The DA's Karabo Khakau says Manyathela has done it again by appointing a former ANC mayor and a provincial executive member or executive members to the country's 21 seaters. The ANC says it hopes today the historical record will be set straight over the cause of death of its former President General, Chief Albert Luthuli. The KwaZulu-Natal High Court is expected to hand down judgment on the reopened inquest into Luthuli's death. Luthuli died in 1967, with his original inquest at the time time ruling his death as accidental, saying he was hit by a train. And the Australian Maritime Safety Authority is investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of an 8-year-old woman who was found on a Great Barrier Reef island after being left behind by a cruise ship. The BBC reports that the woman was hiking on Lizard Island with a group of passengers from the Coral Adventure cruise ship. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 11 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, we've got delays on the N3 North. This is between Marlborough Drive and the Bakloo interchange, and that's due to those roadworks that are taking place along this route. Please be on the lookout there and approach with care. If you're traveling in Village Main, we've got an accident reported on the M2 West. It's right near Elof Street. Delays coming out of Heidelberg Road. About a 15-minute hold up there. Please be on the lookout. And there's another accident scene reported on the N3 South, right near Van Buren Road. Delays from the Kilulis interchange. Those roadworks that are taking place along the R21 North and heading towards the city of Tshwane have been cleared, but traffic remains a bit slow approaching Olifantsfontein Road. So please be on the lookout there and stay tuned for more traffic updates.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The milk steamer was loud. So loud that Lungi heard hot milk instead of oat milk. It was bad. So bad. The milk didn't really sit right with the lactose intolerant customer. It was bad. So bad. Too bad they didn't have Yoko Counter. With Yoko Printer, orders flow straight to the barista. So good. Yoko Counter. Super simple POS and payments in one. No contracts, no hidden costs.
What do partners of the Gates Foundation do when facing the world's toughest challenges? They keep going. From discovering a plastic drape that helps detect excessive postpartum bleeding faster, to developing better bed nets to kill malaria-carrying mosquitoes, to researching an RSV vaccine that could save hundreds of thousands of children. For every problem, there are people who prove that progress is possible. The Gates Foundation, partners of human potential. Learn more at gatesfoundation.org/keep going.
Sir, ma'am, may I take your order?
Yeah, let me get the New York cut, medium rare, truffle fries on the side, and the lady'll have the salmon. Grilled, not poached. 2 dirty martinis. Real dirty.
Leafy, what's with the voice?
Oh, I came over all Tony Soprano.
Get into character on a city break with Premier Hotels and Resorts. Stay Friday and Saturday and get Sunday night for free. Book now at premierhotels.co.za.
Introducing South Africa's most affordable way to get hearing aids. At Specsavers Audiology, you can now get a pair of hearing aids from as little as 599 Rand per month. Hearing clearly shouldn't be a luxury. Enjoy life's moments from 599 Rand per month. Test your hearing today and join the conversation with Specsavers Audiology. T's and C's apply.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
The Pay Inc. Net Salary Index is up for the 6th consecutive month in September. It tracks the average nominal net salaries of over 2 million people with jobs in South Africa. Shigaran Naidu is the head of stakeholder engagements at Pay Inc.
Even though we've got such a high unemployment rate, there's at least some positive signs that there is employment that's taking place. So I think it's pretty much reflective of a good news story.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes is brought to you by ABSA Corporate and Investment Banking, proud sponsor of the ABSA Africa Financial Markets Index 2025. The insights to guide you through Africa's financial landscapes are waiting for you. ABSA is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
20 minutes before 11 o'clock, we are hanging out with Rapulana Seipem, or some of you are still calling him Tau. When you see him on the streets, in some of your messages here on the WhatsApp line as well. Let me go to your WhatsApps on 072 702 1702.
Good morning, 702 land. DJ Spoo. Great seeing you yesterday, Mr. Clement. Love and blessings, my brother. You've got Manyathela, not a legend. This name legend just gets thrown around in the country. But for me, that's my hero. That's my role model. That's my Grootman. That is, from Paradise Stop, how to steal 2 million when He was one-on-one with Umenzi Ngubane, the late great, may so rest in peace. Generations, the city, or the Queen, hijack stories, Santana, Jerusalem, a white wedding. I mean, you name it. You put in the work. You've contributed so much in the industry. And just for me, I thought, let me just do this voice note and give you your flowers. Groot Manyathela. Thank you for the contributions. Thank you for inspiring young ones and teaching them the way. And just physically being there in the trenches. How is this thing done? May God bless you. Keep on showing us more productions. And we appreciate you, Raunganya Blind. Great work over the years, Raulebo. God bless.
Hello, Rapulana. Or should I say Tau? I love your acting. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. My husband and I still joke about there's a meme. I think they made it into a meme where it's between you and Nale Karabo there on Generations where they're like, not once, not twice, damn it, Tau, 3 times. And then you go, ah! But then, wow. I'm happy to be getting to know you. Thank you, Clement, for a great show. And well, it's good to get to know you, Rapulana. This is Bakang from Saint.
Good morning, Clement, and much appreciated bringing Mr. Supima into the studio. I'm just wondering if he remembers being a leader of the Lutheran Youth Church group. We were meeting as the Soweto Circuit. He was so down to earth, yet he was already acting at the Market Theatre. I think it was Master Harold and the boys, but his humbleness and, anyone could reach him. He was not boastful or anything. Thanks, Dima.
Even no local Lutheran.
Yeah. No. I went to church.
Yeah.
I was brought up in a family which went to church every Sunday, even during the week. I mean, I was part of the church choir. I was part of the youth league because a friend of mine. Because we were attending the Lutheran church, and obviously there was a wing which was like for young people, and we felt like we were not in actual fact participating in the church, and we started a youth league, and people know me a lot. I mean, if you go everywhere, anywhere around, Joburg, Pretoria, everywhere.
They'll remember you from those
Lutheran
days.
Church. Because, I attended church. We visited other churches and everything. And that's where I think I learned, a lot of my leadership skills, and I honed them there.
Okay. A few questions are also coming up here. Koketo says, Clement, please ask Rapulana, when are they making the second Jerusalem? That movie was a classic and had such a relevant message. Another person is asking, Clement, please can you ask him if there's one iconic, memorable scene that will always be special to him? What would that be? Which is a tough one because, across the board, on all the productions you've been on, to choose one scene.
Okay. No, I can actually.
Oh, yeah?
I can. I can choose. I was on, someone spoke about me being on Master, acting in Master Harold and the Boys. In actual fact, I directed Master Harold and the Boys at the Market Theatre. And I was in My Children, My Africa by Arthur Fugard, acting opposite John Carney, of course. And there was one scene, it was a monologue about, Tamim Bikwana, a teenager, telling a story about growing up in the townships, how, he grew up and from, the beginning. And obviously you had to, in telling this monologue, and narrating this monologue, you had to embody all those characters, when you were still young, primary and then coming to higher primary and ultimately in high school and being who you are. So I really, really enjoyed that. That is one particular scene. And I'm sure if there's anyone in Matric listening, because they are studying My Children, My Africa currently in Matric. So
that's amazing.
They would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And then the second Jerusalem?
The second Jerusalem, Jerusalem was produced by Tendega Matatu and Ralph Zeman. So they are the ones who can better answer that question. But they are aware that people are yearning for another one, for another one of those.
Yeah.
So I think sooner than later, something will come up.
Yeah, and somebody else was asking about being on Generations for so long. Has it ever felt exhausting to you? Have you ever felt
never?
This is
People
monotonous.
People do not understand that I have a long relationship with Mfundi Mvundla. The reason I went to study in the US, it was because of Mfundi Mvundla. Because Mfundi Mvundla was a chairperson of a board that ran Africa Inc. Africa Inc. was an organization that actually took one student, who wanted to study arts and took them to the US to go and further their studies. So John Kani and Athol Fugard were part of the board, and Rem Mfundi Mvundla was the head. Chairperson of that board. And one day, Dr. John Kani came up to me and said, "Hey, are you still interested in studying further?" And I said, yes, I am.
And that's how you did it.
That's how I did it.
Do you believe that, because the industry has changed from the time when you got into it?
Yeah.
And I wonder what your reflections are, because sometimes when I speak to like quote unquote veteran actors, they often complain about the new breed of actors that are coming up that are more popular on social media, but they're not really actors. But the producers sometimes bring them up because, we need eyeballs. People must watch the shows.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you spoke about dumbing down the writing. It's part of those things. When, producers come up to you and they will tell you or force you to hire someone because they are popular on social media, it becomes something else. And then you get into that and it becomes really frustrating because, veteran actors like us,
yes,
the old guard like us, we kind of feel like you're taking this, being a thespian, you are taking it for granted. And there's a lot of them that actually take it for granted. They think, I've arrived, I'm on television, what else? And there's no, the kind of commitment that we invested, before, it doesn't exist anymore, kind of. But there are those people that actually are doing well. There are those people that are coming in and still respect and are humble. They respect the
and they want to learn.
And they want to learn. And they approach us. They would approach us and say, there's a boy, a new boy at Generations who would come and, he would sit with me and say, because this and that, and it's not just him. There are other young girls who come to me and say, how can I approach this? How do I do this? How do I achieve that? And you give them advice and you sit with them, and that's what we we appreciate. Others come in and they say, okay, I've arrived and that's it, and they take it for granted. They're not prepared at times, and all those things, and it's really frustrating.
It does get frustrating.
Not just to us, to the producers, to the directors,
the whole production,
to the whole production, crew and cast too. So those are the things.
11 minutes before 11 o'clock, we'll continue this conversation and also take some more calls and WhatsApps. I do want to play one more songs before we wrap up, one of his favorite songs as well. Stay with us.
The Midday Report.
Weekdays
12 to 1. Chapman's Peak Drive remains closed off to traffic. This is for alien vegetation clearing. If you come across any other traffic issues, behave.
Out, all of you vegetarians, out!
Please WhatsApp us
meat
on.
Only. Eat the meat.
Can I finish, please?
Carrot, cabbage, broccoli, some vegetables for you and me.
The Midday Report
With Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
Hey Queens, listen up. It's time for the 5th annual Nomzamo Lighthouse Foundation Empowering Her Seminar and Business Awards. Proudly powered by the Hollywood Foundation, and we're calling on your entries. From township startups to industry-defining pioneers, the Empowering Her Awards celebrate the very best of SA's business minds, and now it's your turn to shine. Are you a woman who's passionate and committed to building a business that's changing your community? Are you looking to inspire other women just like you to dream beyond their limits? Well, this is just the right avenue for you. Visit www.hollywoodfoundation.co.za to submit your entry before 31 October 2025 and make the world your stage. T's and C's apply.
To celebrate 25 years of helping you live the Premier life, FNB Premier is giving you a chance to win a 14-day European tour experience and other cool monthly prizes. Open any FNB Premier account from September to 31 December 2025. Switch your salary, swipe or tap a minimum of 2,000 Rand per month for 3 months straight. Spend and win with FNB Premier. FNB, help changes everything. TCs and competition rules apply. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
If this ad caught your ear, imagine what Prime Media can do for your business. With South Africa's leading media company, your message reaches the right audiences across radio, digital audio, video, and display. The Prime Impact Sales Event is coming to Joburg 3 to 7 November and Cape Town 10 to 13 November. Register today for a free demo commercial, a custom campaign, and unbeatable annual partnerships. Seats are limited. Secure yours now at primeimpact.co.za.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
9 minutes before 11 o'clock, we're just about to wrap up our conversation with Rapulani Sipemo, award-winning actor. He's a producer, he is a writer, he's a director, you name it. We've got Keke calling us from Northcliffe. Keke, good morning.
I'm well, are you well, Clement?
Sharp, go ahead.
Rapulan, I'm always going to remind you we were very still young. the first Katiahau, my children, my Africa, I thought you God, say it all. I'll remind you every time. I'll remind him every time. That one, he won that one. There were long people interviewed for that thing. He was elected, and I'm sorry, I mura unkutu. You know, every time go meeting, I was still very young. 3 o'clock show Wednesdays. I'll be there. Like it's line by line. Great, Rapulane.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma'am Keke. Thank you so much. Let's go to, a song. Bonga Muffin, Tatis Gupu.
Yeah.
Why is it one of the songs that get to you?
You know what? In the late 90s, that song came out, and it just took me and Kenneth by storm, because it was our early years of friendship.
Yeah.
And we were building it, and I remember we were still at ECD together, and and we just loved that song. We fell in love with that song. We featured it in our movie, White Wedding, and I don't know. I have to be honest.
It still gets to you to this day.
Even to this day, it gets to me.
That is cool.
dila kgaka selwa moro o faretse mmangwana o fara phapana nna ke motlana ga ke itse sepe botlhogo putswa ba lekile ga re tela ntshipetse tlhoka la tsela e motsopodi ya naka tsa tlholo tsela kgopo seja mephato e tswile letsholo bo morwalo se le dirwa fela but this here motswako is wicked tarantella I keep my back like a tarantula listen just happy se raparese kubo ya botsetsi ba lela se yana marena kubo ya bogosi le bo se mamba ipala mabala nkwe bo mankge maitsana fe opela dikomarukwe
Hey, morning, Clement. I would like to ask Mr. Rapulana Sipemo that what is his take in the dying arts, that is being performed in the townships or in the locations, the likes of Mabana at Maba to, there's no arts anymore, there's nothing at all. And the kids are now drowning into drugs and everything. What is his take on that? This is Benny Man from Soshanguve. Thank you. Morning.
Hi, Clement. Thank you so much for the great show as always. Bonolo here from Pretoria East. Ooh, Clement, 18 years ago, I was highly pregnant with my son. And I remember Awutawu and Siskarabo. They were expecting me. So they named their son, or was it their daughter? I don't remember, but it was Siabonga. That's how we got to name our son Siabonga. And it was the greatest decision ever. We're still grateful to Siabonga, So yes, thank you, Awutawu. You've made an impact in our lives. Continue flying high.
That's so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, it is.
There was that question about the dying arts and what your thoughts are.
The arts will never die. Yeah, it's just that people focus on politics more than anything else. In Mabana, the arts are still there. There are kids that still are performing in Mabana. They are putting up shows. It's just that we choose to focus on things that are not relevant to the growth of these young people, and that is why I'm also there. Going to Mafikeng and starting this program was also a challenge. But I did have to explain myself to the powers that be, kind of, or other stakeholders, that no, this is beneficial to young people. I'm trying by all means to start something through the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture to actually engage these young people and build something else. And also I want to say to the young people in Rustenburg and the surrounding areas, and also, the Northwest generally, I'll be coming through, in actual fact, again, the beginning of November onwards. Be on the lookout for a project that is actually sponsored by the Rustenburg Chrome Community Empowerment Trust. These people are actually giving me a platform to say, come, you develop these young people so that they can have careers, people that, train them, so that they can be, relevant outside even just the mining sector, to in actual fact have careers in other things.
Someone else wanted to know, as we wrap up, that how have you managed to retain Setswana? Sahau, who says, Clement, I think he proves to me that even people from Soweto ba se bua Setswana.
Ya kgomo di kila tsa feta makoropya tsa feta ka lekgopya di ipopile kgomo ga re di fitile koropya bo makao wa tsona saletsi di le tabong ka bekene ke lefa di a goela ko teng yana teng motlhalo wa tsona o tletse dikhuku walla twetwe ka Setswana ke se antse mo go mama papa ona le teng ke Motswana le ene ke morolong o mama ne ke tshela ke le ko gae ko Sione ko Bodibe, and that's how I maintain Setswana Saka.
Yeah, Rapulana, thank you so much for making time, man. We have really had fun with you this hour, and thank you so much for your artistry. You've really impacted us in ways I don't think you'll ever understand. We appreciate you and your talent.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Continue to support the arts. Continue to support us, and we love it.
Thank you, man. It's 11
In a
o'clock.
world where safety matters, you deserve protection you can trust. CIRA regulates South Africa's private security industry, ensuring only trained and qualified providers serve the public. From bodyguards and assets in transit to electronic security, investigations, event safety, locksmiths, and guarding. Every service must meet the highest standards. CIRA, protecting you and those who protect you.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We're also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct. To give you balanced programming, fair comment, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we're not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, PO Box 412365, Craig Hall 2024. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
Why settle for high premiums when you could get a 20% discount on your business insurance? Switch to Outsurance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your premium. For butcheries, convenience stores, restaurants, pharmacies, and other industries, Outsurance Business Insurance are trusted experts in insuring your business. Get a quick and easy quote to switch and save today. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za. Licensed, insured, and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The DA has again accused Higher Education Minister Buti Manyathela of choosing ANC-aligned people to fill the vacant boards of sector education and training authorities. The latest accusation follows Manyathela's recent decision to appoint ANC-linked people and former leaders to be administrators of some of the country's struggling seaters. The DA's Karabo Khakau says Manyathela has done it again by appointing a former ANC mayor and a provincial executive member to the country's 21 seaters. This follows previous appointments by former Minister Nobuhle Nkabane that was abandoned before her dismissal.
Minister Buti Manyathela's new seater board members are, like we're expected, yet again stacked with ANC cadres.
She says Manyathela concealed the list for 28 days before releasing it yesterday.
Well, now we see why. Because those appointments, again, like Nobuhle Nkabane, have a plethora of ANC cadres, from former mayors of KwaZulu-Natal of the ANC, to members of ANC PECs, to members of the ANC Youth League executives.
The ANC says it hopes today the historical record will be set straight over the cause of death of its former President General, Chief Albert Luthuli. The KwaZulu-Natal High Court is expected to hand down judgment today on the reopened inquest into Luthuli's death. Luthuli died in 1967, with his original inquest at the time ruling his death as accidental, saying he was hit by a train. Tabiso Goba reports from KZN.
ANC supporters and Umkhonto Wesizwe military veterans have gathered outside the KwaZulu-Natal High Court for today's judgment. ANC's provincial convener Jeff Khadebe says a wound that has remained open for over 5 decades may finally be healed today.
Because as the ANC, we never believed that this was a train accident. We always felt that he was assassinated by the apartheid regime.
The Luthuli family, including his grandchildren and children, is present in court today, hoping justice will finally be delivered. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News, Pietermaritzburg.
A man accused of killing a Walter Sisulu University student and injuring another is expected to return to the Mthatha Magistrates Court for pre-trial today. Manelisi Mampane allegedly shot Sisonke Mbolekwa on campus earlier this year. While Mbolekwa died, another student, Sethu Ndamase, was critically injured. Mampane allegedly opened fire during a student protest over poor living conditions at the Eastern Cape Institution. Nhlanhla Mabaso reports.
Manelisi Mampane, a former residence manager at the Walter Sisulu University, pleaded not guilty during his previous court appearance. but he did not dispute opening fire using a gun that did not belong to him when the students were protesting on campus. Mampane accused the students of setting a car on fire near a residence where he lived. EWN understands that his appearance also comes after he withdrew his testimony at the Jafta Commission probing the violence at the institution and circumstances that led to the unrest. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News.
And the Australian Maritime Safety Authority is investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of an 80-year-old woman who was found on a Greater Barrier Reef island after being left behind by a cruise ship. The BBC reports that the woman was hiking on Lizard Island with a group of passengers from the Coral Adventure cruise ship. It's suspected that she got separated from the group when she took a break. The ship then left the island and returned hours later to search for the woman, only to find her dead. Gold is trading at $3,959.04 an ounce. The rand is at 17.20 to the dollar, 22.69 to the pound, 19.97 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $64.55 a barrel.
And in the traffic in Village, Maine, we still have got that accident on the M2 West. It's right near Elof Street. Delays coming out of Heidelberg Road. While travelling on the N3 North, we still have got queuing traffic between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu interchange. That's due to roadworks.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 24 and 26 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, the DA has again accused Higher Education Minister Puti Manyathela of choosing ANC-aligned people to fill the vacant boards of sector education and training authorities.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app,
DSTV channel 856,
92.7 and 106 FM.
7 minutes after 11 o'clock, Dumelang, welcome to the third and final hour of the Clement Manyathela Show. Thanks for staying with us here on 702. We were supposed to start with our Thursday dialogue this hour, but there are some important things coming out of the Madlanga Commission, and I really want you to listen to what's coming out of there. So I'm thinking we change things around and we take you live to the Madlanga Commission. I know they'll be breaking soon for tea, but Witness C has been revealing that Ket Matlala used to give General Sibiya 500,000 rand at a time in cash payments. So there's some explosive things coming out of the Madlanga Commission. So let's take you there live now. And when they break, I'll probably bring in our reporter who's there to give you a sense of what happened earlier on until we can take you back there at the Madlanga Commission. I think it's important that we hear this testimony.
The money. Further to this, he gave a bit of a more detail to say that when you access this gated community or this estate, then there will be a circle. General Sibiya will come from one of the houses and stand by the circle. He doesn't allow any person into his house, and then he will hand over the package to him, and then thereafter he will drove off. And again, that he didn't know the name of the estate, but he knows that at the same estate, it is where there's a character known to him as Serge Kabonge, the fixer, who is also owning a house at that same complex. So yeah, that is how he would indicate as to how he do the drop-offs.
Witness C, just for clarity's sake, I missed it. Please identify the individual who he says resides in the complex.
It's a person named Serge Kabonge, It's a Congolese national. Some people, they call him the blesser, and some people, they call him the fixer.
Thank you, Witness C. And
Please spell the name for the record.
It's SERGE, and then the surname is CABONGE.
Thank you.
Witness C, in addition to money dropped off at a townhouse in Sandton, please explain to the Commission with reference to paragraph 109 how else funds were advanced by Mr. Manyathela to General Sibiya.
Thank you. He indicated that after each and every payment by the SAPS for his tender, then a portion of the payment will be given to General Sibiya. And he indicated that sometimes he will pay to the total amount of 1 million a month.
Did Mr. Manyathela ever relay to you why there was a link between him receiving payment in respect of a invoice and then him transferring or sending money to General Sibiya? Why were these two actions seemingly interlinked?
One will make a cross-reference back to say that General Sibiya and General Sinona helped him to secure the SAPS tender. So then the only conclusion that one will come to it is that maybe there was an agreement between them that whenever a payment is made by the SAPS, then a portion will come to me.
Let's see, does Mr. Manyathela in these recordings say that Generals Sibiya and Sinona assisted him to get the tender? Is it something that is contained in these recordings?
Yes, that's correct, Commissioners. It is contained in the recording.
Thank you.
Just before we break, Witness C, you are getting these revelations about ministers, very senior generals in the police setup. They involve exchange of money and bribery. What did you do with this information? Did you prepare a statement for your superiors so that action could be taken against these people?
Thank you, Commissioners. As a junior official, when this involves the senior management of the SAPS, I sent a report to the senior managers of the SAPS so that I will be guided as to what steps should I take further. And when the July 6 happened, we were still investigating the authenticity and or the aversions by Mr. Matlala.
Am I understanding you correctly that the report that you gave to your superiors directly or indirectly led to the media briefing on July 6th?
I am not specifically saying that it led to the July 6th. I am saying that by the time July 6th happened, the media briefing on July 6th happened, we were investigating the aversions by Mr. Matlala.
Yeah.
You say in instances like these, you prepare a report for your superiors. Did you prepare one in respect of these revelations? Did you prepare a report in respect of these revelations? A report for your or to your superiors? Please answer
Yes.
the question. Please. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, Commissioner, to interject you.
No, I just wanted to say, please give a direct answer because Commissioner Kumalo asked a similar question and I'm not sure what your answer was. So that's why I'm saying, please give a direct answer. I think you already have, which is a yes. Thank you very much, Witness C.
Thank you, Commissioner, yes.
Chairperson, it's 1:15.
It's 16 past.
Come back 31 first.
It's not me, it's Commissioner Baldoi. She says we must come back at 11:31.
Okay, so they're going to take a tea break. They'll be back at 11:31. We'll take you back to the commission. Oh, my goodness. So it looks like there is a recording of a confession of sorts from Ket Matlala. And remember when General Mkhwanazi held that July 6th press briefing, he said there's even a message when they went through the phones, right? There was even a message that was sent from Ket Matlala where Ket Matlala warned Brown that I'm going to speak. I'm going to expose everything. Already, Ket Matlala was angry at the fact that the 300 million rand tender that he had gotten, and apparently, according to Witness C, he got that tender with the help of General Sinona. General Sinona is the Hawks head in KZN. Ne? So he got the over 300 million rand tender with the help of this Hawks head in KZN and General Sibiya. And when the contract got cancelled, he got so angry that he threatened that I am going to speak out because I have been giving you clearly from what this witness says that apparently Ket Matlala was giving Shadrach Sibiya 1 million rand a month. And from what he says, it seems like that's from the help that Sibiya gave him to secure this 300 million rand tender. But also earlier on, he said that there were amounts of 500,000 rand that used to go to Sibiya. So this 1 million rand, maybe Sibiya was sharing it with the Hawks head in KZN. Serge Kabonge's name was mentioned. Did you hear that? Serge Kabonge, who was on the show. His name has just been mentioned now, and apparently people know him as the fixer, and sometimes these monies, these transactions, the exchange of monies used to happen at this home of Serge Kabonge, this complex. Remember, Serge Kabonge told us on this show, confirmed that he's very close. He's very, very close to Shadrach Sibiya. The fact that there's a recording is actually quite shocking to me, and I think it's very clear that Ket Matlala has somehow agreed to speak. And if really he's agreed to speak and he's got evidence that he's going to show, this is probably the beginning of the end for Shadrach Sibiya and possibly even the Hawks head in KwaZulu-Natal and even Minister Senzo Mchunu. Because if this man is going to speak, can you believe what else he's going to reveal? Let's bring in Oren Singh now, who is our EWN reporter who's been listening to that testimony. Oren, thank you so much for coming through. Good morning.
Morning, Clement.
Sure. I mean, what this witness C is revealing today is quite explosive. What is he telling us about First of all, can you just confirm if there is a recording that exists? Did this witness C speak informally to Ket Matlala, or did he interview him?
Yeah, so essentially this recording does exist, Clement, and what we've heard is quite a lengthy recording in that. We only got a small snippet of it this morning, possibly about 20, 30 seconds, where we heard Ket Matlala speaking. This conversation was an informal conversation that was had with both witness C, witness B, and witness A. These are all members of the investigating team that worked on the arrest of Ket Matlala as well as Katiso Katie Molefe. And this recording essentially, we hear that this was when they arrested Ket Matlala in May this year. And upon arrest, they took him to a police station where they were about to process him, in which he stated, "Can I please just sit and talk with you guys before you process me?" And this is when witness C began recording him on his cell phone. And it's during this conversation that we hear a number of things coming out, allegedly by witness C, in that Ket Matlala confesses in that he had been funding Senzo Mchunu in his presidential campaign, with ambitions for a presidential campaign, but also that he had met on several occasions with Shadrach Sibia, and that he claims constantly that Shadrach Sibia is a criminal himself, and that Sibia had on several occasions been at the farm of this quite prominent underworld figure who's now late, Jotan Mswati Msibi, a taxi boss from Pretoria who died in January last year. And Sibia was constantly at Msibi's farm where Ket Matlala had met him. And upon Msibi passing away in January last year, Matlala and Sibia got close in that Sibia told him that, "Look, I will take care of you, but you need to take care of me." I think an important thing an allegation that came out from this recording, Clement, is that Sibia allegedly received cash amounts from Matlala, although there's no way to prove this because it was obviously paid in cash, but for up to 500,000 Rand at a time to ensure that Ket Matlala was taken care of and vice versa.
And then the Hawks head in KwaZulu-Natal, was he sharing in those monies as well?
Allegedly. Lesetja Sinona, and we spoke about this last week, in that the Sinona had obviously a vested interest in ensuring Ket Matlala was taken care of because his son Tato had business dealings with Matlala. But Matlala touched on that yet again today, saying that Sinona and Sibia were crucial people that who he relied on to ensure that his 360 million Rand police contract went untouched. But at the end of the day, we know that it resulted in being cancelled. But there was also another interesting point that he mentioned quite early on in his testimony, Clement, in that on the day of his arrest, he had actually been traveling from the former National Police Commissioner's home, Ria Piecha. Ket Matlala had been to Ria Piecha's home in Midrand. He had met with her, and on his way out of Midrand, he had been driving quite fast with his motorcade when he had a tire blowout. And that's when police managed to arrest him when they were fixing his tire. So that was also quite interesting as well, because we haven't really heard of Ria Piecha's name pop up yet in relation to Ket Matlala.
Oh my goodness. Serge Kabonge's name was also mentioned there. This is someone who has been on the show, and he confirmed that he's very close to Shadrach Sibia, and also Kabonge is, of course, also an associate of Ket Matlala, knows even Hangwani Maumela as well. What did Witness C say about him? Because he mentioned the complex where he lives.
Yes, he did mention in that they have had dealings previously. Like you pointed out, Serge did come out and say that he knows Matlala and he knows the likes of Hangwani Maumela and so forth. He didn't go into too much detail about Serge, but just mentioned something about the complex and having met there previously with him. Yes.
Yeah. And we don't know what Ket was doing at Ria Piecha's house. Yeah, they didn't explain what the connection is.
We don't know, but I think the one thing that we do know is that Ket Matlala had been trying to reach out to senior people within SAPS. After he had spoken to Brown Mokgotsi to try and get Senzo Mchunu on his side, and he had been allegedly paying Brown Mokgotsi to fund Mkunu's presidential campaign, so not paying Mkunu directly. But he had then, after he didn't really get that much protection in terms of his police contract, he then reached out to Becky Pele for assistance in ensuring that his police contract doesn't get meddled with. So I can only assume, and I don't like to assume, but I could only assume that he was trying to reach out to Piecha to see if she had some sort of pull, still an SAPS, to police top brass to ensure that this contract is not touched and that he still is able to secure that contract.
Yeah, all right. Oren Singh, thank you so much, man, for coming through for us. Hey, yeah, no. Yo. This is crazy. If there is a recording, how is Clement Manyathela going to walk back from that? And this is actually what the witness is sharing is almost in agreement with what General Mkhwanazi said on the 6th of July. Remember, he said, there's been even a threat from Clement Manyathela to reveal it all. And clearly that's exactly what he's doing. I mean, what did you expect? If really there are people, Gerald Sibia and the Hawks head in KZN helped him get this over 300 million rand tender. If that gets cancelled, it gets taken away from him, of course he's going to retaliate. But I'm glad he's speaking. And I hope that he speaks the truth so that whoever he's worked with and has financed, who has protected him illegally or otherwise, gets to join him in jail. It's 26 after 11.
John Perlman. Weekday afternoons,
3 to 6.
One of the things you've developed at Standard Bank is something called the Africa-China Trade Solutions, ACTS. What particular problems does that address, and how does it address it? I would have thought getting your foothold in a foreign market is generally complicated. I don't know if China's more complicated than most.
So China is very dynamic, and it's a massive market, as you can imagine. There's about 1.4 billion people. So the Africa-China Trade Solutions are designed to simplify and accelerate trade.
John Perlman.
3 to 6 on 702.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable. You receive up to 745,000 rand worth of legal services per year. Our range of plans include cover for you, your spouse, children, and extended family. Plans include cover for civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Whether it's protection orders, gender-based violence, uncontested divorce, or poor service, your Clientele Legal lawyer will be there to assist you. Our services are convenient. Simply pick up the phone and call your lawyer or send us an email and we'll get back to you. All plans include a bail benefit of up to 5,000 rand and we'll go to the police station and pay it for you. Plus, Clientele Legal offers you 24-hour telephonic legal advice. SMS Legal to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Who says everyday driving can't be très chic? Rent premium with Sani Sixt now. Own the stylish Citroen C3 later. Yes, that's 3 cars, 3 months, 3 chances to say ooh la la. Just book directly on sani.co.za. Call us or rent at any branch between 1 November and 31 January, and you're automatically entered into the draw. Bon voyage with Sani Sixt and win. T's and C's apply.
Have you got something to celebrate with friends and family? Pesto Princess has authentic butter chicken curry sauce that makes feeding a crowd simple and affordable. Just add chicken or veggies, simmer and serve. Find all our fresh cooking sauces at Spar and Checkers or visit pesto.co.za. Pesto Princess is celebrating too. 25 years in business. I'm Kathleen, the founder, and your support means the world to me and my team.
You're with Clement Manyathela.
702. Let's walk the talk.
All right, we are going to get the latest in Eyewitness News headlines, and then when we come back, I'm sure they would have come back already. Witness C will continue with the testimony, and then we'll take you back to the Madlanga Commission. Apologies that we couldn't bring you the conversation we had planned today on our Thursday dialogue, because we wanted to speak about the tension that exists between the Justice Department and the inquiry into the TRC cases. But as soon as I started seeing what's coming out of the Madlanga Commission, I thought it's important that we do that. But you will hear throughout the day on 702 what the minister's response has been to the complaints that have been raised by their evidence leaders around the lack of cooperation from even the Justice Department and other departments as well, that would allow then this inquiry into the delays in the prosecution of TRC cases to do its work properly. But what's coming out of the Madlanga Commission is really something that should concern you and I. The fact that this head of the Hawks in KwaZulu-Natal is still employed and is still getting paid after everything we've heard and even after the evidence we've seen in WhatsApp messages. The fact that Senzo Mkhunu is still on special leave and you and I are still paying for his salary and his security and his well-being is quite irritating, frankly, having heard what we have heard so far. It's 11:30. Bali, good morning.
Hi, Clement. Thank you so much. Good morning. The DA has again accused Higher Education Minister Buti Manyathela of choosing ANC-aligned people to fill the vacant boards of sector education and training authorities. The latest accusations follow Manyathela's recent decision to appoint ANC-linked people and former leaders to be administrators of some of the country's struggling seaters. The ANC says it hopes today the historical record will be set straight over the cause of death of its former President General Chief Albert Luthuli. The KwaZulu-Natal High Court is expected to hand down judgment today on the reopened inquest into Luthuli's death. And Rand Water is urging communities to use water sparingly to help reduce the current high demand. That call was made during the launch of the Utilities Education Drop-by-Drop initiative in Orlando, Soweto today. Rand Water says the program will focus on providing skills to residents to enable them to contribute in resolving some of the water challenges. Those are the headlines, this EWN and more at midday or as it happens.
WN Traffic.
Traveling on the M2 West, we still have got that accident in Village Main, just near the Elof Street exit, delays from Heidelberg Road. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between Marlborough Drive and the Bakru interchange. While traveling on the M2 West towards Amalgam, do expect delays between the Crown interchange and Main Reef Road. There's also queuing traffic in Devland along the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue. That's due to faulty traffic lights there as well as roadworks. And speaking of faulty traffic lights, we've got more delays on the N12 West heading towards Protea Lane, approaching the R558 due to traffic lights that are out of order. More updates coming up at the top of the hour with Karabo Jali. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
702.
The Clement Manyathela Show.
Let's walk the talk.
11:33. Let's take you back to the Madlanga Commission, where Witness C has been testifying about the relationship between Ket Matlala and Shadrach Sibiya and the Hawks head in KZN, and of course Brown Mokhotsi and Minister Senzo Mkhunu. He's back on the podium, on the stand.
So then there were questions.
So we're still waiting then. We'll take you back there. Abel, let's take a quick ad break because they're still waiting for Witness C. Is it Witness C? Yeah, Witness C to come through. As soon as, hopefully by the time we come back from the break, they'll be back.
Obrima Sango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
As we traverse the wilderness from proverbial Egypt to the promised land that has taken us 40 years for a trip that we could have taken 3 days to make, I think the proverbial wilderness is the knocking out of us, of our slave mentality. Until we have learned the idea that freedom is responsibility. That's what it is. Financial freedom, whether it's economic freedom, whether it's political freedom. How many years has it been now? 30 years? Freedom is responsibility.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702.
This summer, the KZN Tourism and Film Authority invites filmmakers, producers and storytellers to discover why KwaZulu-Natal isn't just a destination. It's a world-class film location, from ocean vistas and lush forests to historic towns and cinematic landscapes. KZN offers so much for film. Whether you're shooting a feature, series, commercial or documentary, make this summer the season your story comes alive in the magical Zulu Kingdom. Visit KZN.sa.com and follow at Film in KZN to plan your film journey through KwaZulu-Natal.
Access to the internet is vital for any country to grow. That's why the recent 6.75 billion rand digital infrastructure deal that Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking facilitated between Telkom and an Actors-led consortium is so transformational for South Africa. It unlocks growth and provides internet access to underserved communities who will now have access to the internet for the very first time. Search CIB Stories of Impact to watch the full story.
Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Tap into the power of good sleep. Visit Dial-A-Bed today and save up to 30% on our best-selling brands. Our Sealy Celebration Plush Comfort Queen Set is now $9,499, and our 40 Winks Active Zone Extra Firm Queen Set is now only $11,999. Save $6,000. Plus, get next-day delivery on our best sellers. Dial-A-Bed. Sleep for life. Visit our massive revamped store in North Rand Road, Boksburg.
While you're prepping for the best summer yet, make sure you're also planning for a successful 2026 and beyond with Liberty. Next Monday from 3 p.m., 702 Drive with John Pellman chats to Liberty financial advisor Sheila Ann Roby. From obtaining a financial plan to unlocking your financial potential, tune in to get the lowdown with Liberty on 702. Liberty Group Limited, a licensed life insurer, authorized FSP and part of the Standard Bank Group. T's and C's and risk and limitations apply.
702.
The Clement Manyathela Show.
Let's walk the talk.
24 minutes before 12 o'clock. Witness C is back at the Madlanga Commission. Let's listen in.
Manyathela has also given us General Sibiya's phone numbers. The initial time he gave us the phone numbers, it was during the visit at his house on 6 December 2024. And then secondly, when we were upon his arrest, that is where he also gave us other contact details of General Sibiya. We also asked him as to how does he pay General Sibiya. He indicated that he will do the drop-offs at the house. And then there's also a character known as Sergeant F.E. Ngosi, whom he indicates that he is the person who will be the transporting the funds from him to General Sibiya. And he also gave us the ABSA account details of Sergeant F. Ngosi, and also indicated that he is also in constant communication with this Sergeant Ngosi. Furthermore, that this Sergeant Ngosi is working at the National Organized Crimes, which is the unit under the direct command of the DNC, who was the General Sibiya.
Witness C, in an earlier part of your evidence, you made reference to a Sergeant F.E. Ngosi. You gave evidence that this is a police official who tipped Mr. Manyathela off about a operation scheduled at his residence. Is this the same Sergeant Ngosi that you list in paragraph 110?
That is correct, Commissioners. On the 6th of December, he did show us the contact numbers of Ngosi, of Sergeant Ngosi, but he had saved him as Warrant Officer F.E. Ngosi, where in actual fact, when we checked, because like he also had his personal number on one of the screenshots that he had, then when we checked, it was indeed determined that he is not a warrant officer. but a sergeant. And he indicated that this Sergeant Nkosi is the one who facilitates the transfers of money to General Sibia. And in one of the conversation that Mr. Mathala showed us, he also indicated that this Sergeant Nkosi is in possession of Mr. Matlala's bank account card. And in some instances, after the payments by SAPS to Mr. Matlala, then Sergeant Nkosi will facilitate that the money gets into the hands of General Sibia. Thank you.
You use the verb transfer in the context of Sergeant Nkosi allegedly transferring money to General Sibia. Earlier you said that General Sibia did not want electronic transfers and that he allegedly preferred or insisted on being given cash. In normal banking parlance or language, transfer is usually used for electronic transfers. So when you say that Sergeant Nkosi would do transfers, do you mean he would transfer electronically or he would deliver physically?
Thank you, Commissioners. For the lack of a better word,
sorry, I'm very, very sorry to interrupt you. Allegedly, of course.
Yes, Commissioner. For the lack of a better word, to put it, I would say that he will serve as a messenger or a go-between who will take cash from Mr. Matlala and transport it to General Sibia. Thank you, Commissioners.
And just to confirm, Witness C, your evidence is that Sergeant Nkosi had access to a bank card belonging to Mr. Matlala. Is that correct?
That is correct, Commissioners. In one of the Mr. Matlala conversations with Sergeant Nkosi, he asked Sergeant Nkosi to send him the picture, the front and the back part of his business account, FNB business card. Then indeed, Mr. Sergeant Nkosi took two pictures, one which is the front part of the FNB business account, and which was the back part of the same card of Mr. Matlala.
Witness C, in that paragraph 110, you speak of an ABSA account. Is it different? So is there a different account, ABSA, and another one, FNB? Because now you've just mentioned FNB.
Yes, Commissioners. The ABSA bank account, Commissioners, is an account number that belongs to Sergeant F.E. Nkosi, which at the time of an interview with Mr. Matlala, he indicated that sometimes he would do EFT transfers for Sergeant Nkosi to utilize, and some to facilitate that it reaches General Sibia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Witness C, over the course of the next few paragraphs, from paragraph 111, you are going to detail instances where Mr. Manyathela relayed to you that he provided funds to General Sibia. Could we work through those instances one by one, beginning with paragraph 111, please?
Before you do that, Witness C, you say you conducted an investigation into who is this Sergeant Nkosi, and you found that he belongs to which unit?
The National Organized Crime Unit, which falls under General Shibiri and is overseen by Lieutenant General Sibia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Witness C, you were at paragraph 111, please.
Thank you. Mr. Manyathela also indicated that there was an instance when General Sibia's son was getting married, and he was invited to that party thereof. And at that event, he had given General Sibia an amount of 300,000 in support to of that marriage or a party. At another instance, he indicated that I can rather say it also in the vernac that he used. He said, "Yeah, General Sibia, orata mali chelete dama." So meaning that General Sibia loves money a lot, because he was the time he went to his office at the national head office of SAPS, whereby he wanted a resolution into the issue of him utilizing the clinic at Pretoria West SAPS Academy. And then General Sibia instructed him to place the money in the dustbin at his office. It was like he has a bathroom attached to his office.
Witness, you've been specifying the amounts. Was this amount not specified? Just say placed money.
Thank you, Commissioner. For this amount, he didn't specify as to how much it was. And the question was never also asked as to how much was it.
Witness C, please then proceed to explain the contents of paragraphs 112.
Thank you. In January 2025, Mr. Manyathela indicated that General Sibia informed him that he is buying a plot in Midrand, and the plot was to be registered under the names of his wife and they are intending to convert that plot into a bread and breakfast. And for that, Mr. Manyathela has indicated that he had given General Sibia an amount of 2 million rands towards the purchasing and the for the B&B. And he had also indicated that these 2 million rands, he had personally gave it to General Sibia at the house in Sandton, as he was directed by the general himself. This is the same house that I have indicated earlier on in my evidence that this is where a character known as Serge Kabonge also owns or resides at the same estate.
Witnessee, please proceed through to finalize paragraph 112 and explain to the commissioners the manner in which the money discussed therein was handed over or dropped off to General Sibia.
Thank you. This money, 2 million rands, was dropped off in cash at the estate in Sandton, whereby he indicated that General Sibia came out of the house and stood by the circle, where he didn't go in. He just extended his hand from the car whilst he was still sitting in the car, and General Sibia took the money, and then as he drove off, General Sibia walked back into the house.
In the olden days, I would be asking about whether there is a paper trail. Of course, you've indicated that General Sibia allegedly insisted on cash payments, so there would probably be no paper trail pointing to him. But there would be paper trail at least showing withdrawals that are either of the exact same amounts or amounts in that region. So these days everything is electronic, but it would still work the same way. Were you able to establish, or was someone else able to establish, if indeed there was a trail tending to match or show a link with the alleged payments to General Sibia?
Thank you, commissioners. At the moment, at the time of deposing this affidavit, commissioners, we were still in analyzing the bank statements of Mr. Manyathela. Mr. Manyathela has a lot of bank accounts, commissioners, and the activities in those accounts are a lot. So the analysis thereof hasn't been concluded.
Thank you.
Witness, my question related but slightly different. This estate in Sandton where General Sibia allegedly resides, have you been able to obtain CCTV footage showing Mr. Manyathela going in and out of the estate around the same period that you mentioned in paragraph 112 of the statement?
Commissioners, that part, since I am not fully into that investigations, I will not be able to state as to whether the CCTV footage thereof had been viewed or secured or not.
Because I'm thinking if Mr. Manyathela did go to that estate and did deliver a bag, we won't know obviously what's inside the bag. There may well be CCTV footage that shows him entering and leaving, but also dropping off a bag or something similar to a bag. Would that not be so?
Yeah, if the area is CCTV covered, indeed, such evidence will be available.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Witness C, is it your evidence that the allegations made by Mr. Manyathela are the subject of an SAPS investigation? Is that correct?
That is very correct, Commissioners.
And
I would also like to state that on this interview, Commissioners, our main aim was to investigate the case pertaining as per Santen CAS 436 of 10/2023. But now, one couldn't put a cover on the ear and not pay attention to what Mr. Manyathela was saying to us, Commissioners.
Sure. What's coming out of the Manyathela Commission is really something else. It's 3 minutes before 12.
The G20 Summit coming to Johannesburg is a stepping stone towards a brighter future for the city. Josie My Josie has launched the Babize Bonke campaign to shine a spotlight on some of the extraordinary champions who are reshaping Johannesburg from the ground up.
My name is Yumna Bukers, community activist based in Bertrams. I transform bad spaces in the community into productive vegetable gardens and provide for local soup kitchens, schools, and the needy.
Josie My Josie is making the invisible visible, giving the voiceless a voice. It's a movement for the people, by the people, creating a city that we can proudly call Josie My Josie. Come see how Josie does it. A city that's alive, ready, and rising. Prime Media and 702 are proud sponsors of Josie My Josie.
Josie My Josie, Babize Bonke champion Mama Yumna will be interviewed on Weekend Breakfast by Gugs Mhlungu just after 9 a.m. on Saturday morning.
You could do something first and still be doing it wrong. What hurts is sprinting but never making it to the finish line. Quit going in the wrong direction because with Sani Sixt, you can rent here and globally. Other car rental companies only have a vision to try harder. We actually deliver. While they leave you feeling blue, our budget and vibe match yours. For a tailored service offering premium at every stage, book premium car rental excellence with Sani Sixt.
Whether it is a CCMA referral, problems with a mechanic, unfair blacklisting, or an uncontested divorce, Clientele Legal offers professional legal services to all South Africans. Our plans are affordable, and you receive up to 745,000 Rand worth of legal services per year. We cover civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Our nationwide legal teams are standing by to support you 24 hours a day. Plus, all plans include a 5,000 Rand bail benefit. Join today. SMS LEGAL to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Coming up next, the midday report with Mandy Wiener. How are you doing, Mandy?
Good, thank you.
What's
Clement.
popping today?
Sure, as you've been listening to Witness C at the Madlanga inquiry implicating the Deputy National Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya, we'll go live there as well. The Public Works Minister, Dean McPherson, on the construction reform plan. Judgment expected in the Chief Albert Latuli inquest. The first Walmart store is going to be in Clearwater. That's the announcement that came out today. And it's a Thursday. Our book of the week is Hollywood on the Veldt, when movie mayhem gripped the city of gold.
That's the midday report with Mandy Wiener. Thank you for listening to the Thursday edition of the Clement Manyathela Show. We're back again tomorrow for the Friday edition. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye-bye.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. We begin with some breaking news this hour. Police have responded to a crime scene in Marlborough, north of Johannesburg at the intersection of Viola Road and 4th and 8th Street. Unconfirmed reports suggest a high-ranking at the intersection of Viola Road and 4th and 8th Street. Unconfirmed reports suggest a high-ranking officials of the Alexandra Randburg Midrand Taxi Association has been shot and killed there. A collision involving multiple vehicles can be seen on that scene, with some of the cars with gunshots. Down the road from that scene, a security car was shot at, with one person dead and yet to be removed from that vehicle. Police have closed off all the roads and are processing that scene. We will bring you more on the story in our upcoming bulletins. To this now, the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry has heard how tender tycoon Vusimuzi Kat Matlala visited the home of former National Police Commissioner Ria Piecha just hours before his arrest in May. This has been revealed by Witness C, a detective attached to the Gauteng counterintelligence operation. The witness is currently testifying partially in camera before the inquiry. Piecha was appointed National Police Commissioner in 2012. She was then suspended in 2015 and in 2017 was officially removed following several allegations of misconduct,